Take our loot, but don't get old.
Atop a throne of skulls.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to our second ECL qualifier. Today we're going to be having 4 competitors facing off for one of our glorious pieces of 8, so definitely going to be quite a bit of fun. So the tale of the day today, we're going to be starting off with Shetland Apache versus Flying Taco, and let's actually go ahead and take a look at the bracket. You guys can see everything that's going to be going on here. So the tournament brackets, we do have Flying Taco versus Shetland Apache, and then in the second game we're going to have Boyka versus Sarmatian. And the winner of those 2 best of 3s will be facing off in a best of 5 final at the end of the day. So definitely going to be quite a bit of fun. Yes, welcome. It's good to have you guys here. Hopefully you enjoyed that introduction. It's just a little trailer I made. It's And I love the Doom soundtrack. I love Warhammer. So I was like, hey, let's just put those two bad boys together and see what happens. But yes, we are here. Flying Taco, Shetland Apache in our first best of 3. And Boyka and Sarmatian in our second round there, which is going to be quite a party. So as far as the Pieces of 8 goes, last week we did have our first Piece of 8 claimed by Rightist. And the winner of today's tournament will claim another Piece of 8, which will essentially qualify them for the grand finals, which is going to be sometime in December or January. So we're going to be having 8 streams in total for anyone who's watching. This is a new format here on the channel. We're going to have 8 streams per season, and there's going to be a new season every time we have like a big content launch. So for example, if there's, you know, the Curse of the Vampire Coast or future DLCs, we're going to be having a season to go along with those. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Each one is going to be themed around the particular DLC. So this one, of course, is Vampire Coast themed. And the 8 winners of the 8 streams are then going to be playing in an Ever-Chosen style event, which is going to have sponsors and raffles and all kinds of crazy stuff. So gonna be good. I know. The only font that I forgot to get was the Sarmatians. I forgot to put that as the same one. But yeah, guys. So let's go ahead and pull this up here, see if the guys are ready, and let me let them know. Start when ready. So yeah, the first match is going to be Bretonnia versus the Vampire Coast. I love it. A lot of people actually wanted to see this matchup, but I know that Shetland Apache is a very good Bretonnian player, so it's going to be good. Hey Kirk, what's going on? This is your first time getting in live, huh? So we're going to be fighting on a pretty common map, actually. This is definitely going to be pretty good. It has a fair amount of line of sight blocking for the Bretonnians, forest, but it also has some open field areas. So definitely a pretty well-balanced map in my opinion. And yes, we are here with the new spectator mode. So I do have, oh, hold on. I got to update the scoreboards up top. It is the wrong ones. I knew I was forgetting something. All right, so let's go ahead and do this real quick. And then we got to get the proper names here. We'll just call him the Flying Taco. All caps. All caps or go home. Come on. Come on. And then we got to change that. That's from last week. And there we go. That should be good for now. All right, let's get this party started. I got the scoreboard. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. Yeah, no, I know. I knew I was forgetting one thing. I went through like all the different like banners and I was like, all right, I got this one, I got this one. I updated the Pieces of 8, but then of course that one does slip through. So thank you guys so much for joining today. The contestants today, we just actually went over them. So we're going to have Shetland Apache facing off against Flying Taco in our ECL League here. The Eternal Challenger League, which is going to be our regular season thing we're going to be doing quite often. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. So first matchup is going to be Bretonnia versus the Vampire Coast. So if I know this matchup at all, I'm pretty sure that the Vampire Coast is going to be bringing like double Colossus. The Colossus are so damn powerful against Bretonnia, although it looks like he has 1. So anyways, let's let the players line up here for just a moment. Oh, we have the Green Knight coming in from Bretonnia as well. Now the Green Knight might be pretty good at hunting down those big armored targets. He's pretty quick and definitely very sticky. So for the forces of Bretonnia, let's go ahead and take a look. They do have, for their leadership kit, we have Alberic de Bordelot. Yeah, wow, Alberic. So Alberic, actually, I like him up with this, guys. I haven't seen him too much on horseback. Granted, he does have anti-large. He's got a pretty cool shield. I wish he had a trident. That would be so much cooler. He does have heroic killing blow. On top of that, he does have the Spirit of the Tempest, which gives speed to all nearby units. So it's going to put the speed up of the Green Knight pretty close to 100. So it does have a nice little gooning capability there. Damsel with the Lore of Life. You pretty much have to go Lore of Life if you're going to go with Alberic, especially with the Green Knight, because Green Knight gets so much value from healing, because typically he's burst down pretty slowly considering his physical resist. Having the healing with the Green Knight is just is so immensely valuable. In the forest here for Bretonnia, we have Knights of the Realm. We do have 2 Knights of the Realm here. Looks like, are those the only cav? I mean, usually I think it's better to go very wide with infantry and peasant archers and not bring too many cavs. So I think that Shetland Apache is on to the right. No, he's going the right direction here. So 2 Knights of the Realm. And for his main army, he has a ton of the peasant bowmen archers, it looks like. An entire firing line here. And also, guys, how's the quality looking today? I made some changes, so the quality should be a little bit better now. It shouldn't be as pixelated. So let me know. I'm quite curious to see how it looks for you guys. So an entire front line of the peasant bowmen, which are pretty much a hard counter against the guns of the Vampire Coast. Now, Vampire Coast can use mortars and deck gunners and other tools to kind of disrupt these guys, fellbats, scurvy dogs, but they're still a really good staple. In the secondary line, we do have the Holy Wardens, which are the ROR of the Battle Pilgrims. So these guys are ready to kind of chop up some zombies, definitely looking like some fun. Old Battle Pilgrim line in the secondary, which I think is pretty good. They have shields. I believe they did get some buffs, and they hit really hard against like lightning armored troops when their frenzy is active. Peasant mobs in the back, a couple spears to help secure against probably skirmishing and harassing and things like that from the Vampire Coast, and that is pretty much it for Bretonnia. Very, very cool army. And now for the forces of the, oh my god, look, the Green Knight. So the Green Knight's in a Vanguard deployment back here, and actually the Scurvy Dogs are right next to him. So 2 Scurvy Dogs from Flying Taco, and for the rest of his army, you can see he has a whole front line of deckhand mobs. Count Noctilus on the Colossus, by far the most competitive pick here. He's going to be really, really strong for sure. And he has a bit of shades too. The Black Spot, which is the ROR of the Zombie Pirate Gunnery mobs. These guys do have anti-large and armor piercing and charge defense, so they're pretty much like, I guess like an anti-cav. They're like Lothar and Seaguard with powder, basically. Yeah, they're really, really good. And they have AP as well. Sirens over here on the far side to apply the charm debuff. A couple groups of crabs. Crabs are a great roadblock against Bretonnia. Knights of the Realm coming in. These guys just stand in front of them with their big Chad claws, and they just kind of block them up, which is definitely very powerful here. So, two groups of the Riding Prometheans. We do also have the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs here. One group of Depth Guard with pole arms. That is pretty much it. So, the Black Spot and, you know, some of the other units are definitely going to get overwhelmed by Shetland's Peasant Bowman, but it's really going to come down to his Count Noctilus play. And he grind it out and, you know, get the crabs to stop the knights and go from there. So let me let the guys know they can start when ready. All right. And here we go. It's go time, guys. Thank you for joining. The quality is awesome. Yeah, I changed the bitrate. I didn't know if my internet could handle it, but it looks like it can. So I put up the bitrate to like twice what it was. So hopefully the quality of the stream will be a little bit better. So on the far side, we have an immediate engagement. The Green Knight is going to be chasing some of the dogs out of the forest. He's like, "Be gone, foul dogs." Look at him just riding these guys down. Oh man, that's hilarious. I have a little drink of coffee here. But yeah, the Green Knight's on the hunt, chasing down those scurvy dogs. The scurvy dogs are going to be running back to their formation. Now, the scurvy dog play is going to be one of the most important things for the Flying Taco. Flying Taco needs to get those guys on top of the Peasant Bowman archers, or else these guys are just going to swiggity-swooty all over his formation. And these are not the fire variant, it doesn't look like. You just went with the standard ones. The fire ones are pretty good because Noctilus and a lot of the units do take extra damage from fire. But nonetheless, if you're just trying to go wide, sometimes it makes sense just to go with regular archers. So the Hard Knock Life is going to be taking some pot shots over here. Looks like he's going to be shooting at the Holy Wardens, which is a good choice because those guys have 48 weapon strength. They do fire damage. They are a menace against the Vampire Coast. So here Count Noctilus still taking those long bomb shots here on the Holy Wardens. The rest of the Bretonnian forces are going to be swooping in. The Peasant Archers almost in position. And Shetland Apache is really going to force the Vampire Coast forward. They're not going to be able to sit here and turtle because those Peasant Archers are going to eviscerate this formation if they're able to just kind of keep shooting and sit in position. So the first Peasant Bowmen are going to be shooting in at the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs, doing some okay damage. But again, it's going to be that perpetual volume of fire just coming over the course of the whole game. So on the far side, the Scurvy Dogs are still kind of swooping around. It looks like they're going after the Green Knight. So the Scurvy Dogs have surrounded the Green Knight. Oh man, look at this. And Flying Taco's coming in with the Sirens who actually do magic damage. So they're going to be able to do some work. And the Green Knight can't really escape. Oh man, this was a really nice little trap here from Flying Taco. Beautiful play. And I feel like the Green Knight's going to be in a little bit of trouble. I mean, yeah, he's going to need some help. So Knights of the Realm or something else is going to have to come rescue him here because the Sirens and Dogs are going to be able to solo him and take him out. Very good play there from Flying Taco. In the meantime, Count Noctilus is going to be shooting at the Bretonnians. The Peasant Bowmen here taking massive fire, but they're still giving the business to the Black Spot. The Flying Taco, very good discipline here, is going to be falling back and making sure they're out of range, and he will be advancing with the rest of his forces. In the meantime, Count Noctilus did summon a group of Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs over here, and they were able to attack these archers, but the Knights of Bretonnia are going to swoop in and do some work there. Green Knight still a little bit trapped up here. It looks like he might be able to barely squeak away. He's like slowly pushing through with his mass. The Dolores Blade has been popped as well. Oh man, and he cleaves those Banshees asunder. It looks like he took a handful down with him there. So maybe Flying Taco is going to withdraw and just let the Banshees attack him. Oh man, that's getting some good damage in. Anyways, the forces of the Vampire Coast definitely taking a lot of damage from that Peasant Bowman fire. It's definitely going to start adding up, and Count Noctilus is even going down surprisingly quick. He's already lost probably 800, 900 HP. Knights of Bretonnia is securing the back line with Alberic, and it looks like there's going to be another summon of the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs here to pin up the Holy Wardens, who are just cutting their way through the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. And over here on the far side, the Crabs have engaged. The Crabs are going to be really tough for Bretonnia to take down. They have a lot of armor, but the Knights of the Realm with good charges should be able to, or just massive amounts of focus fire. So the battle's pretty even. I wouldn't say anyone has a clear advantage right now. Some good summons from the Vampire Coast have gotten into the back line of Bretonnia, but on that same note, the Bretonnian missile line is you know, for the most part operational. It's shooting in, it's wearing apart on these Vampire Coast infantry here. The Deckhand mobs, the Black Spot has had to fall back. It pretty much hasn't been able to do a whole lot. And it looks like Shetland Apache was able to escape, so the noble Green Knight of Bretonnia, oh, and it looks like a Pit of Shades going down. So Noctilus does drop a Pit of Shades right there on these Peasant Archers. Didn't look like it got the best impact, unfortunately, so it doesn't, yeah, that probably wasn't worth it. Pit of Shades seems to be a little bit better against like blobbed up Knights and things like that. So the Knights of Bretonnia coming in with a massive charge here on the Tide of Skilled, which are the ROR of the Deckhand mobs. Going to be able to put those guys down pretty quick with the help of Alberic right here. And that's going to kind of free up Noctilus, although the big daddies are coming in, the Depth Guard with polearms. And these guys are very beastly. If they're able to sit and just kind of chop up the Knights, they're going to do really good. But it looks like Shetland Apache is going to intercept them with the Peasant mobs here. Peasant mobs, of course, you know, they have a lot of HP. That's one thing you can't say about them, and they're going to be able to kind of, you know, waste this guy's time at least. Count Noctilus still advancing and shooting at the knights, just trying to pick off and get value wherever he can, but he's almost down to half health from this peasant bowman fire, which is pretty great. Syrenes are coming back from their deep quest to try and take out the Green Knight. Looks like they're going to be piling in on him again. The Holy Wardens are actually almost dead, so the Holy Wardens have fought through a couple groups of zombies. They're at 137 kills, but I think they're reaching their wits' ends here. And very even battle. Here, the Vampire Coast does have a bit of a rally going on. They've secured this flank. The Rotting Prometheans are holding back the infantry. The Black Spotter here as well. And the Peasant Archers are being chased by Scurvy Dogs in the back. You can see Shetland Apache using the Knights of the Realm to try and clean them up. Oh, and it looks like a big Pit of Shades might be going down here. And the Pit of Shades does catch the Knights. Does some okay damage. Yeah, it's actually doing pretty good damage. So it's not the worst. And you can see the Knights actually can't move while they're standing in it. Kind of like pins them in place while the rest of the group does right away. So that was pretty good. That did some really good HP damage. Brought him down to like half health right there. Alberic's going to be falling back with the Knights of the Realm, trying to reform ranks. And the Scurvy Dogs from Flying Taco are just running amok here. Just getting into the Peasant Archers, causing a ton of problems. So very well played with those Scurvy Dogs. And I really had a feeling the game would come down to the dogs. Like, are they going to shut down the Archers? Because if they aren't, the Archers are going to annihilate the big vampire dude. So here the Knights are charging in to clean up the doggos, which is a good choice. Vampire Coast looks like they have a bit of an advance going on, but there's still a ton of battle programs, right? Pilgrims should be able to kind of clean up a lot of these chaff units, and but they still take some damage in return because their melee defense is very low. Count Noctilus and company kind of stacking on top of the Depth Guard with polearms. Looks like a Wraith Storm going down to the Green Knight. Definitely not a bad choice. The magic damage, and the Syrenes are just kind of swarming him. So very good use of these Banshees right here. But the Green Knight definitely on the hunt, trying to get that Noctilus booty. And Noctilus is at 4,300 HP, so he's not in bad shape. Archers are providing some decent fire here, and the Green Knight charges in. And does he get the hit? He does get the hit. Does about 400 or 500 damage right there. Definitely nothing to sneeze at. And it looks like the Black Spot have repositioned themselves, but they're just going to be taken out by these battle pilgrims so badly. Black Spot do have okay combat stats. 18, 17, and 27. Definitely quite a bit better than the standard gunnery mobs, and they're going to be falling back, but they're not the best at retreating with their 23 speed, and I don't know what they can really fall back to. Oh, it looks like the crabs are coming through. So Flying Taco has got the Rotting Prometheans. He's pathing them through, trying to shut down those battle pilgrims and allow the Black Spot to get away. But Bounce of Power is still pretty much dead even. This is just such a close game. Very well played to both players. Looks like here an Awakening of the Wood has gone down from Bretonnia, which does some pretty good damage against these Syrenes here. But the Green Knight is... he's just been getting hunted all game by these Syrenes and some of these Depth Guard. I mean, he's having some problems, but that regrowth is going to be really good. I mean, he has a low HP pool, so the big heals definitely generate a lot of value. In the meantime, Alberic's on the hunt. The noble, what is he, like the ruler of Bordelot? No, I don't really know anyways. But the crabs are going to block him up, so very good play here from Flying Taco. He's able to block up Alberic, kind of holds him back, and you can see here that the Flying Taco and his Count Noctilus, or Grumpy Cat as we like to call him, is going to be falling back. And man, this is just such a close game. The Depth Guard are rushing in. The Depth Guard are pretty much perfect health. Invocations of Nehek probably still available from Count Noctilus. And they have a huge surround here on the Bretonnia Knights. This is a disaster for the Bretonnia Knights right here. Polearms plus crabs, like heavy armor mixed in with the anti-large armor piercing of the halberds is going to be brutal. And Alberic is surrounded. Bretonnia needs to free him up. You can see the Knights are trying to chase down Noctilus, but man, if Alberic can't escape here, I mean, the crabs have such good mass. You can see they have him pinned in, and he's just being like pimp slapped by all of these crabs and the Rotting Prometheans, and the Depth Guard here, just such a hard counter against Alberic. This is looking to be just an absolute scrap right now. Some of the Vampire Coast troops here are being gunned down by the last of these Peasant Archers. Looks like a little bit of lag here. Come on. It's such a good game. Don't disconnect. Yeah, because there's really no saying like who would win this one too. Let me make sure it's not me. No, looks like our connection's good and everything. Shetland Apache's been dropped. No. Well, we'll talk to the guys. That happened. That happened to us last time, but it looks like it was just Shetland Apache this time. So hopefully, I mean, I think that the Bretonians had lost that game, but we'll see what Shetland thinks and Flying Taco, and we could perhaps like do a bit of a rollback on that one. But yeah, I mean, the Depth Guard were alive, the crabs were alive, Noctilus was pretty much full health, and the Bretonians were just so tattered right now. So so yeah, we'll take a look and see what the guys think. Let me go ahead and check Discord and everything. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, I do think that the Vampire Coast had that game, but we'll go ahead and talk to Shetland and see what he thinks. So, says he's still in the lobby. That is weird. Gabo unplugged the internet. Did you think? We could just replay that one. That was a good game, though. That was a really good game, unfortunately. Damn. It could be the spectator mode. Yeah, I definitely think the Vampire Coast was going to win that one, but I wouldn't mind rolling that one back. We'll just call it a bit of an exhibition game before things get rolling here. So it could be spectator mode. I'm afraid it might be spectator mode. Yeah, Shetland says it was in Taco's favor, but I don't mind replaying it and just going again. But different matchup, of course. We could just kind of move on to the next one. I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. Yeah, that was the first game here. Yeah, Taco wants to replay it. Okay. Replay, new matchup. We're gonna, because that was pretty close. I mean, Bretonnia still could have pulled it out in like a really long, grindy game. But we'll do the new matchup since they know each other's builds. We'll get something a little bit fresh going on. So then let them play. Yeah, we're actually gonna be starting. Go to your next picks. Yeah, we're gonna send them to their picks for game 2. I mean, so guys, consider that an exhibition game. I think that Flying Taco definitely was going to win that game, but it still could have been pulled out by Shetland Apache. 1 second here. We're just working it out. An auto-gen for the rematch? Oh my god. Yeah, we'll let them agree on it. The next map's going to be Iron Sand Desert. Okay. So Shetland actually wants to give the game to Flying Taco. So we're going to call that a 1-0 for Taco. Pretty much up to these guys. You know, our tournament, we do have, of course, some structure in regards to like, you know, like game losses. But I don't, when there's disconnects that are like probably based on spectator mode, like I don't want to like, you know, give people the loss unless they both agree on it. So, so that's going to be game 1 for Flying Taco. Game 1 to Taco. Now we're going into game 2, which is going to be the Vampire Coast versus the Dinosaurs. If it crashes again, we will get off spec mode. Great. So yeah, guys, we're going to be here with game 2, which is going to be the Pirates of Sartosa facing off against the Lizardmen. Definitely going to be quite a bit of fun. Yeah, good sportsmanship. It's up to these guys. You know, I don't want to give Shetland the loss, but if both players agree on it, like that's fine. Because, you know, honestly, there are a bit of some issues with the new spectator mode, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, good on him. Good on those guys. You know, and that's kind of the biggest thing about these qualifier tournaments, right? It's like a really good way to, you know, get new people into the multiplayer community, but also like see who are good sports, who are not going to be difficult, who are going to work around things and just make it happen. So I definitely think that the Vampire Coast had that game against Bretonnia won. So Parzival 516, thank you for the $2 donation. And Dov Plays, thank you for the erect $10 donation. 900 watching, less than 100 likes. Shameful display. You know, interestingly enough, my shirt does say shameful display on it. Yeah, check it out. Look at it. You guys like this shirt? Shameful display? Yeah, it's pretty good. Hey Turin, from worst to best, can you order elite infantry units? It's a little bit tough to do on the spot, but maybe I'll do a video on that. Yeah, I don't want to play in my own tournament. Because what if I were to win and earn a spot, right? Like I can't play in the finals, so that's then becomes a bit of a problem. Yeah, Shetland's a gentleman. He's awesome. He's awesome. He's definitely one of the anchors of the multiplayer community here. Looks like Shetland Apache's ready. Pirates of Sartosa. Quite excited for this. Hey, what's going on, Adrian from Poland? Cześć. Jak się masz? You guys like that shirt? I wish Creative Assembly would sell them. They're awesome. But when I was at Creative Assembly's offices for the Everchosen Invitational, they actually gave me one of these shirts, so it's pretty neat. The letters are backwards? No, looks good to me. Oh, well, yeah, it was backwards because I was standing. I thought you were talking about my scoreboard. I was like, the scoreboard's fine. I didn't screw that up again. So if it does crash again, we'll get off spectator mode. Unfortunately, it still is in beta, so it might not be like ready, but I don't know. We'll see. This is a pretty open field map here. The Iron Sand Desert, one of my favorite maps. It's definitely a good one. But that last battle was so good too. Alberic and the Green Knight, like getting surrounded and just all kinds of drama going on. It was really, really fun for sure. Yeah. How many big dinos are we going to see? Hey, Lore Master of Sotek, welcome, man. Welcome. We got to get Sotek in one of these coming up. So this is, how many big dinos? Well, probably not too many. Maybe at the very least like a Revivification Crystal. Oh, man. Ooh, Shetland's got a nasty build. This is a nasty, nasty build. Oh, man. Okay, I'm really excited for this. He does have Lore of the Deeps as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if these dinos are ready to deal with all these deck droppers. That's going to be pretty scary, guys. So for the Pirates of Sartosa, we have 2 deck droppers with the handguns here. On top of that, we have 2 regular Felbats with chevrons. Now, this is a really solid build because if they bring Pterodon Riders, the gold chevron Felbats with 55 melee defense can actually just hold them all day. And then that allows your deck droppers to pick off the high value targets. For the front line, he does have a couple groups of the Sartosa Militia. These are the basically free company. They're basically just free company with Rowdy. So you can see they do have that perfect vigor, which is awesome. Really excited to see that. And on top of that, we got some zombie pirate deckhand mobs with polearms against the dinosaurs. We do have a vampire fleet admiral. He's going to be the lord of the army, and he's going to be riding on his crab, looking majestic as shit here in the sunset. And for spells, he does have he's going to be going with the summoner build, it looks like. So Invocation of Nehek with Drowned Dead. And then what you do is you bring a Deepcaster, and you just bring the crab summon, which is probably one of the more optimal ways to use the that kit in general. And as far as his other units go, he does have the Lamprey's Revenge, which are the ROR of the vampire rotting Prometheans. Where are those guys? He keeps dodging me. He's dodging me. He's setting up his army everywhere. The Lamprey's Revenge are very good, though. These guys regenerate. They're like the Stearnsman crabs, basically. They have little shotguns as well, which don't do the most damage, but they're still awesome. He does have a Rotting Leviathan. Monstrous unit's definitely going to be pretty cool here. Should be able to anchor up on the Saurus and the Skinks and hold those guys back. I'm loving this build from Shetland Apache. Getting the Lamprey's Revenge plus a Deepcaster as well as the Rotting Leviathan, it is going to be pretty good and tasty. And he even has some spicy Sartosan influence here in the build, which should be quite good. For the forces of Flying Taco, a very wide Lizardman army, which is to be expected here. He does have a Sir Thickness here, or the Slime Mage Priest with high magic, so he's going to be using Tempest to take down those flyers. He's got like lightning bolts in his eyes and shit. It's pretty crazy. Croxagor's here. Rev Crystal, 2 Croxagor. So Croxagor is pretty much a hard counter against Depth Guard. On top of that, he has some Temple Guard in the back, it looks like, or maybe just one group. Saurus Warriors, Skinks across the board. Pretty normal stuff. But he's pretty light on the anti-air. He's going to have to really rely on the Tempest. I mean, Tempest can annihilate some of these flying bats, but it's really going to come down to his Tempest play. Is that going to be able to shut him down? So, start when ready. Let's do it to it. You haven't missed much, Colin. This is actually game 2. So we are in game 2 here. Currently, Flying Taco is up 1-0 here. He won the first game with Vampire Coast against Bretonnia. It was a very close game. Unfortunately, Shetland did drop towards the end, but the bounce of power was just starting to go in the favor of the Coast. So yeah, it's Shetland actually wanted to give the game to Flying Taco, even though we were ready to roll it back. But there are some clever girls here as well. You can see the Feral Cold Ones, and it looks like the Gold Chevron Felbats are going to be swooping in to go after these Chameleon Skinks from the Flying Taco. And Shetland Apache is going to be swooping back with the deck droppers with the, which ones are these? These are handguns. So these are the armor piercing variant, which are very good against dinos. They're going to be able to annihilate the Clever Girls, the Rev Crystal, all that stuff. But the biggest thing is going to be taking out these Chameleons, because if he can check down the Chameleons, he should be able to have like relative free range all over this dino army with his Flying Air Force. There's plenty of anti-large here, I guess, as well. He does have the Temple Guard. Temple Guard should be able to kind of at least fight this Rotting Promethean. The Felbats do swoop in, but there are Skinks and Clever Girls nearby, so the Clever Girls definitely going to do some work. They are taking that massive fire here from the deck droppers with handguns. You can see they do just so much damage. It's pretty crazy for sure. But the Felbats are going to be falling back. The Sartosa Militia are also scooting forward here. You can see these bad boys are going to be charging, and yeah, I wonder what they're going to shoot at. Probably just the Skinks and stuff like that. It's really cool that the Pirates of Sartosa can bring these non-undead units. Definitely changes things up for sure. So the Sartosa Militia are going to be shooting at the Clever Girls, trying to rampage them, and they do get rampage, which is nice, right? But they only cost like 450 gold. Oh no, but then the Lamprey's Revenge and these massive crabs with shotguns just charging in, blasting them with shotguns as they charge in. And the Rotting Leviathan's coming for the freebies right here. So the Feral Cold Ones basically just got annihilated by those guys. Very good play here from Shetland Apache initially getting those picks. But the Skinks from Flying Taco are still doing okay work, working down the Fellbats a little bit. But I definitely like Shetland's army quite a bit. I think it has all the tools it needs to deal with this force. There's a lot of like heavy power here, right? He does have these Prometheans, 2 Prometheans. He does have the Arwar plus the Rotting Leviathan. It's going to be a lot of HP to get down for the dinosaurs here. So the Rotting Leviathan's going to be charging in. You can see the Feral Cold Ones still rampaging here. It looks like they haven't wavered yet. And it looks like the Vampire Fleet Admiral of Vampires is going to be summoning the Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs here to help fight off these Skink cohorts and these Saurus Warriors and some of these other troops. And the Rotting Leviathan's just going to be kind of trotting about. He's very slow. As far as his speed goes, well, I guess he has 50. He just looks a lot slower than he actually is. Skinks have engaged in the front line versus these Zombie Pirate Deckhand mobs. Now, the Deckhand mobs should be able to probably win that engagement, I would imagine, just due to leadership. And the Lamprey's Revenge going to be swooping back, so really good play from Shetland, keeping a high and tight formation, just kind of pounding these guys out. And yeah, I'm really liking this build so far. The Fellbats over here in the back are just kind of attacking Jabba the Hutt and just trying to cause some problems. Well, it's not actually Jabba, but oh, a really good Tempest. So he does get that juicy Tempest here on the deck droppers, and look how quick it kills him. But it was good. Shetland had them split up. If he had them both together, he would have lost. I do this all the time and lose my guys, but that Tempest just doing massive work, and it basically pointed and clicked and was able to kill those deck droppers. That's a really nice pick here from the Flying Taco. And it looks like the Leviathan is going in there. He's swiggity swooty. He's coming for that orange sherbet booty, and he's going to be dropping some crab claws, hopefully having a good time. And it looks like the deep casters, or the Vampire casters, is going to be summoning some deckhand mobs here, which going to be pretty scary. Now, Shield of the Old Ones and the Aura of Pretzel going down. Shield of the Old Ones does give damage resist now. Not leadership. I mean, it gives leadership, but not magic anymore. It's really, really good. And yeah, the battle's pretty close. I wouldn't say anybody has like a square advantage here. It looks like there's going to be some sort of a vortex going down right here. Unfortunately, it looks like the deckhand mobs were able to move out of the way. Probably would have saved that for a little bit later, but nonetheless, the Prometheans plus the Lamprey's Revenge and all these guys are going to be going. Don't you disconnect. I felt a little lag spike there. The Bastillodon with the Rev Crystal is just getting spanked by the Lamprey's Revenge and the Rotting Leviathan and all these big angry crabs. Kroxigors, in the meantime, unfortunately, are stuck fighting halberds. Like, they can't seem to find a good home. Everywhere they roam, there's always just hordes of zombie halberds. And it looks like the deck droppers here with the handguns are just going to be wasting them, just doing a ton of damage. So it's looking like Shetland Apache is, even though the bounce power is pretty even, it looks like he's in a pretty good little situation here because the Rev Crystal's gone, and from there he can probably just get the Leviathan and go after some, the Slan. And I don't know if there's a lot the Lizardmen have enough mass to stop this onslaught here. Hornswaggle and what the hell is that? Von Hortzman Speculum? Melee defense? I don't not even know what that is. Well, that's something new. Anyways. Yeah, he does have Temple Guard, but it's going to be tough because they can get cycle charged. So anyways, another Tempest going down here on the deck droppers with handguns. And the Tempest pretty much one-shots these guys. So really good play here from Flying Taco against Shetland Apache, getting that beautiful Tempest. And they might actually survive that. If he's able to get an Invocation of Nehek pretty quick, he might be able to stabilize those guys. But the Air Force for Shetland Apache is pretty much offline as far as his ground forces go. He does have some Sartosa Militia, some Halberds left. The Dino Infantry, they do have a couple groups of healthy Saurus, Kroxigors as well, but now Jabba is going to get potentially teabagged by this giant Rotting Leviathan, so there's not enough high-mass troops to really shut this guy down right now. Yeah, he's going to have to waddle and scurry for sure as the Leviathan just kind of chases him down. And the Lamprey's Revenge are so tough to kill. These guys are like not the Sternsmen, but, well, they are like the Sternsmen and Orgrimmons, except they're giant crabs. Looks like there's going to be a deep summon coming down as well. Some more Rotting Prometheans are going to be summoned, and they're just going to be pinning up these Saurus. In the meantime, the Slan Mage Priest is waddling with all of his might here, but the crab is just slapping him up with those claws. The Aura of Pretzel has been popped, giving a melee defense and armor, and a taunt going down from the Vampire Fleet Captain as well. So just really, really close game here. I think that Shetland Apache is pulling ahead. You can see the bounce power is starting to go in his favor at this point. The Temple Guard are, of course, fighting valiantly, but for the most part, they're actually fighting like chaff units and still taking some damage in doing so. Because again, the zombie deckhand mobs with polearms actually have really good AP value, so they can actually put some work in against elite infantry. I mean, not like a ton, but they can do some stuff for sure. So anyways, here the Slan Mage Priest with high magic is getting really low. The crabs are doing the work. The deck droppers up in the skies are being picked apart. So Flying Taco staying resilient in the face of adversity here, using these chameleon skinks to kind of poke down the deck droppers up in the skies. And yeah, it's a really, really close game. Over here on the far side, a ton of Saurus. Just a massive wave of them just cleaving the Sartosa Militia asunder. It looks like they're both pretty much done for here. Skinks on the far side fighting the deckhand mobs. Deckhand mobs probably should win this engagement and probably will. So a little bit of back and forth all over the battlefield. It's really going to come down to, can these Temple Guard and the remaining Kroxigors carry this game? Because I don't know, where'd the Toad go? The Toad is here. He probably still has a little bit of magic left. left. Apotheosis, Arcane, and Forging could be good against the Vampire Fleet Captains if he has enough Winds of Magic, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure he's been using Apotheosis as well as the Tempest the entire game, so he's probably really low on Winds of Magic at this point. But the Rotting Leviathan in here is still just kind of stomping all over the Kroxigors and some of these other troops. Definitely looking to be pretty grim here for the Dinos. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop this big angry beast, and I would imagine there's still some Vampire summons that are available. So the Vampire Fleet Admiral with the Polearm, so he does have the anti-large, and of course his Toad is definitely a big thick boy here. Is going to be taking that sweet anti-large attack here from the Vampire Fleet Admiral. Some Skinks are going to be rushing in as well. Shield of the Old Ones, definitely good play, giving him some nice ward save. Apotheosis going down, which is going to be keeping him up. But the Rotting Leviathan's very healthy. Although something else to consider, guys, is a lot of the power of this Vampire Coast army could be in the summon, so maybe the Dinos could rally. These guys are like perfectly evenly matched here. This game is just... I mean, I still think the Vampire Coast has a slight advantage just based on the surviving units, but the Dinos still have a ton of stuff. I mean, they have Saurus Warriors coming in. They just have so many troops all over the map. Temple Guards still have 62 models. That is no joke. And there is not a lot left on the ground here as Flying Taco is just fighting tooth and nail to kind of put these guys down. But that Leviathan could cycle charge those Temple Guards so efficiently. And if he has like one more Vampire summon, you know, or Zombie summon, I mean, it's going to be just so valuable here. The Lamprey's Revenge with their shotguns have lost one model this entire game. It's getting a little bit laggy on stream. Okay, I'll take a look at that in just a moment. Anyways, Leviathan here just kind of doing its thing, just crab slapping these Skink cohorts. Could potentially be a terror route going down from these guys. And I also noticed a little bit of lag in the game, so it could perhaps be... yeah, I can adjust a bit, right? I'll take a look after this game. The Vampire Fleet Admiral with polearms is holding on here. The Crab is holding on as well as far as his HP, though. He still has 4,300, but I don't know. The Dinos might be able to pull something out here. Like, the balance of power was actually going in the favor of the Vampire Coast, but now it's slowly starting to grind back in the favor of the Dinosaurs as the Temple Guard do get saturated on top of the appropriate targets. And, yeah, I don't know. Hard to say, guys. He wasn't able to finish off that Slan Priest. He's going to need some more summons for sure. There needs to be... Ooh, the Lamprey's Revenge are just getting cut down. Man, I did not notice how quick they were dying. So they're down to 5 models right now. Invocation of Nehek going down. He really needs some more summons. Like, he needs something to, like, summon on top of these chaff to allow the Rotting Promethean to do its job. Because right now, he's just getting grinded down by the hordes and hordes of these Saurus and these Temple Guard and these other troops. And, man, just such a close battle. Yeah, the stream is fine on your end. Okay, maybe I'll adjust the bit rate, like, a little bit. Just, like, down, like, 1,000 or something. That should be fine. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This could still be anyone's game. The Rotting Leviathan's going to have to do a little bit of cycle charging on the Temple Guard and get some nice terror routes. Temple Guard do get the Hornswoggle, so their melee defense and armor has been lowered. The Vampire Fleet Admiral with the polearm is still alive, and thankfully he is the AP variant, right? Shield of the Old Ones going down, which is going to give the ward save as well as the leadership. Going to keep some of these units fighting a little bit longer. But yeah, there's a lot of armor left on the battlefield. I mean, maybe he should focus everything in killing these Temple Guard. Just get all 3 of these units and just, like, rapidly click on the Temple Guard, right? I mean, the lizards are rallying. It's like that scene in The Hobbit when the dwarves charge out of the keep. But oh no, this could be it. This could be the game that the moment that cost Shetland Apache the game here, or not Shetland Apache, Flying Taco, as the Vampire Fleet Captain as well as the Admiral go and they get a massive attack on the Slan. The Slan is trying to waddle away, but these crabs have really good mass. They could probably chase it down. Shetland Apache needs to pursue the Slan. He needs to get all of his guys and just spam click here. Probably doesn't want to be sitting and fighting Saurus. I mean, that could definitely be a huge thing for him. And the Rotting Leviathan is a little bit surrounded. He doesn't want that. He should pull that thing back and do a little bit of charging. Although, look at this. He's not going to be able to because Flying Taco actually has these Kroxigors in the back with their mass pinning it in. So you can see here that Shetland Apache's trying to move it. Yeah, so there's nothing he could really do about that. Shetland's doing all he can. Right here, we do have the Wand of Jet going down in the Vampire Fleet. Admiral or Captain. Was that the Captain or the Admiral? It's easy to get those guys confused. But man, the Dinos might be able to drag these guys down. They might be able to. That would be a crazy comeback because the Vampire Coast was in a pretty dominant position for most of this game. And you can see here they're going after the Slan, but the Slan is using his thick body to kind of circle around and hide behind the Bastiladon. He does use the Cold Blood to get rid of the Rampage, although I don't think this thing even rampages, so maybe he's just using it for the leadership to keep him fighting. And guys, it looks like the lizards are rallying. The lizards are rallying to their king. Kroxigors with the pin, and the Leviathan goes down. Now, there still is 2 powerful vampires, the Fleet Captain plus the Fleet Admiral. They need some summons, though. Like, they're pretty much out of bodies here, right? It's just a horde of angry lizard men and these 2 Prometheans versus the whole world. The bounce power is in the favor of the Flying Taco here, but Shetland Apache might be able to pull this one out if he can get a summon. That's what he really needs. And that thick Slan just with the jukes. He hasn't been able to take that out. Flying Taco just doing great work right here. This is just such a close game, and it looks like the Von Horseman Speculum with the melee defense, weapon damage, and melee attack going down to debuff those guys, but I think the vampires are going to crumble here. Let's see what the chat's saying. Oh, they're saying GG already. Maybe. Oh, and the Slan is piling in as well. He's got his club, he's got his Doritos, he's got his Mountain Dew, and he is coming for that victory right here. Vampire Fleet Admiral is holding firm with his polearm, but there is just so many angry dinosaurs here. I don't think that these guys are going to be able to hold. What a beautiful game by both players. That was just so back and forth. I really thought that Shetland Apache was going to take that one, but it's starting to look like a victory for the dinos. As the Vampire Fleet Captain does crumble, you know, he's just taking too much damage. He's negative leadership. And yeah, this is a lot of angry dinos. And the aura of Pretzel going down, which is buffing all of their armor and their melee defense, just making them so much stronger. That's going to be all she wrote. Man, what a game. What a game. Beautiful play to both Shetland Apache as well as Flying Taco. If Flying Taco does win this, which it looks like he's going to here, he's going to be moving on to the finals with the 2-0 here. And yeah. Yeah, lore-wise, the dinos would never give in to army losses with a Slan alive that close. We'll see if Lore Master of Sozak can... the great plan wills it. Beautiful play by both players. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard there. And we're going to go ahead and move on to the next round here in just a moment. Stand by for finals. All right, so we're going to get him in. And let me go ahead and go over to Discord. We're going to take a quick break here, and we are going to grab the next competitors. And we'll get started from there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. That was a beautiful game. Very well played to both players. And again, big thanks to Parzival as well as Dob Plays for the generous donations. Really appreciate it, my dudes. Yeah, we're gonna be jumping over to the next game here in just a moment. So we'll go ahead and take a quick intermission. And I even have a graphic for that, but yeah, check it out, guys. Check it out. All right, guys, when we're back, we're going to be setting up the next match here, which is going to be a showdown between Sarmation. Hopefully the stream didn't. I actually just adjusted the bitrate settings to make it run a little bit smoother at the cost of a tiny bit of quality, but hopefully the stream stayed steady for you guys, right? It kept going. Okay, looks like it's good. So we got Sarmation facing off against Boyka. Definitely going to be fun matchup for the old guard. Yeah, this is going to be Bretonnia versus Empire, which is actually a really fun matchup here. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboards and everything. Make sure we're good to go. So thank you guys so much for joining. And also, it looks like we have a couple donations. I will get to those in just a moment. So Sarmation is going to be on this side. And then we have... Yes, let's make that name nice and tasty. Those were some great games we had there. And again, my apologies to Shetland Apache there, with the disconnect. We actually switched out of spectator mode. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to see if it's a little bit more stable here. That and scoreboard. Yeah, I noticed we had a couple dropped frames when I was looking at the statistics from before. So yeah, I see what you guys are saying. We can definitely get Wookiee. So for the next ECL tournament we'll have, we're gonna replace that intermission screen with Wookiee with a pirate hat if we can. Somebody actually donated $5 last week to buy him one, so we'll be ordering him one from Amazon or something. Wow, okay. Jason Denny, thank you for the $9.99. Give Wookiee a pirate hat instead. Will do. I'll take care of that. Thank you. Ninja Hunt for the $5 for the sick beats. I got you, man. And Colin, yes, pirate hat for the Wickster. It must happen, dude. I will make it happen. So it shall come to pass. Now to hunker down in my bed and observe the next match. It's so cold today. Yes, I got you, Mikey. Start when ready. Bretonnia versus Empire. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a fun one for sure. I'm really excited for this. And we shouldn't have any crashes now that we're out of spectator mode. Spectator mode is still in beta, so it could be something with that. I'll definitely shoot some of the Creative Assembly guys a message and let them know that it seems to be a little bit less stable than the standard spectator here. But yeah, we'll get it there eventually, I'm sure. A $20 pirate hat? Dude, we're going to get him one. I'll tell Lady Turin. I don't think we need an army blocker. Most of the people in this tournament are good sports, So, yeah. It's okay. All right, guys. So we're on the Tower of Hoth in game 1 here. And definitely a pretty good map for both factions. If the Empire wants to play Powder, they can simply set up away from the forest and force the Bretonnians to come out to them. They're really eager to see if he's going to be using cannon play or a ton of state troops. I mean, there's a ton of different ways they can play this matchup, So let's go ahead and take a look at the armies of the Empire, who are going to be led by Sarmation. So Sarmation does have Volkmar the Grim. Volkmar is going to be on his horse here, which is definitely not a bad choice. Allows him to run around and buff things and just have a good time. He does have a Jade Wizard as well as a Warrior Priest of Sigmar. So man, he's going hard in the paint with the OG Warhammer Classics up in here, baby. It's going to be good. So for the front line, he does have state troops, swordsmen. Honestly, swordsmen do pretty well against most, Bretonnian infantry. Foot squires will beat them, but aside from that, they do very well. Spearmen in the secondary line, some halberds in the back, and he's going to be playing the Cav game with Bretonnia. So, Royal Altdorf Griffites, Knights of the Blazing Sun, and Demogryph Knights with halberds, and Knights of the Blazing Sun. So, a bit of a thematic army as well with the Knights of the Blazing Sun, but they're really powerful shot cav. They can annihilate Bretonnian infantry. And then Demogryph Knights, they definitely can trade pretty well, especially with Warrior Priest support. So, if Volkmar is giving them the Grand Hammer and the Shield of Faith, they will be able to beat the Bretonnian Knights with the support of Warrior Priests and the Lore of Healing, Lore of Life. Yeah, so really cool build here from Sarmation. Yeah, it's very cool stuff. And for the forces of Boyka, which is, it reminds me of that, what was that movie where they have the character Yuri Boyka? It's Undisputed or something, where it's about the Russian guy who fights in prison. I love those movies. They're so corny, but they're actually really good. Men-at-Arms with shields here in the back line. He does have foot squires, not a bad choice, or 1 foot squire. Peasant Bowman. Peasant Bowman definitely can rain some fire on some of these halberds and unshielded troops here. Definitely would go after the halberds if I were him. And it looks like he is indeed going to be contesting the Cav game. So Questing Knights, Questing Knights, Questing Knights, and Grail Guardians into the sunset with the Fey Enchantress, who has been nerfed. Her aura does 20% less damage, but she's still a super competitive pick. So really excited to see these bad boys in action here. Yeah, it's going to be good. A lot of crusading going on for sure. Start when ready. Let's see what the boys got. Let the boy watch. Tomb Kings do really well versus Vampire Coast, I think. Yeah, it's a good matchup. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, this is going to be a good old classic matchup. And yeah, we're on the second best of 3 of the day. So after this best of 3, we will have a best of 5 finals between the winner of this series here between Sarmatian and Boyka. And the flying Taco coming in with the Taco chair. I played Taco quite a bit on ladder. He's a very solid player, so it's gonna be fun seeing him in the finals here. Oh yeah, he put on, like Lizardman, he put on a really good show with those guys. I really thought Shetland Apache had that game, but unfortunately in the first game we did have a crash at the end. There was a slight balance of power advantage for the Vampire Coast in that crash, but Shetland still could have pulled it back. But he, of course, being the ever gentleman, as we'll call him for now, wanted to give the win to his opponent, just to kind of get things moving and keep it smooth. So big props to Shetland Apache, who I would actually like to cast with him someday. Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun to cast with Shetland. I can feel it deep in my plums, juicy, purple, ripe for the picking. Eastbound and Down is such a funny show. Indie Pride, I love that show. Will Ferrell's character is like the best thing. Yeah. Yeah, we might be a little bit behind on the. Let me check the stream quality. So it seems like the stream quality is better now. It hasn't been lagging as much. So the fire rises, or it hasn't been lagging on my end at least. All right, so the Empire forces are going to be advancing forward. The Bretonians taking a very forested position, but they have a massive force hidden here. Just the huge crusade of Bretonnian knights, all in lance formation for the most part, except the Questing Knights looks like they're in standard formation. But yeah, those guys are going to be advancing out and getting ready to meet here. But the frontline engagement, I mean, these men-at-arms might be able to zerg down the state troops. It's going to be hard to say, but this entire formation is probably going to be getting charged by the Knights of the Blazing Sun and some of these other troops here. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. My favorite race from Lord of the Rings. Well, I'm a huge dwarf fan. Granted, the dwarves get a very minor role in I mean, in The Hobbit they get more roles, but if you're talking like Lord of the Rings trilogy and the books, like, I mean, you gotta like the Dunedain. I mean, Aragorn, but I mean, I guess he's like really the only representation. So I don't know. It's hard. It's more character specific for Lord of the Rings, but anyways, Boyka's forces are going to be advancing. It looks like the peasant bowman going forward to probably start shooting at the halberds, but he better be careful with these peasant mobs, like sending them forward like that. He's going to need to pull in his reserves, but yeah, he's trying to snipe out the halberds, which is a good choice because the halberds are obviously a bit of a hard counter to his cav game, right? The Bretonnian cav game. And then you can see the men-at-arms sallying forth from the forest with the Knights of Bretonnia leading a downhill charge here against these state troops. Beautiful stuff here as the Bretonnians just collapse down the hill and attack these swordsmen. The swordsmen, of course, a little bit ambushed by this massive Bretonnian force. Oh no, but the Sons of Sigmar are coming in. The Warrior Priests, the Knights of the Blazing Sun, Demogryph Knights, all these guys coming in with a rock-hard charge. Oh, this is going to be bad if he gets caught. And you can see he's on just hot, just beelining for those Bretonnian Knights. And here comes the charge of the Empire. The Demogryph Knights and Knights of the Blazing Sun charging in to intercept these Knights. But another charge coming from the Bretonnians. A little bit of game lag. My apologies, guys. It sometimes happens when you have guys connecting from overseas. But it is what it is. So a massive just cav fight coming in. Knights of the Blazing Sun charging in here. But you can see Boyka does have his spearmen and everyone pretty much in position. So Sarmatian just in a pit fight right here. Just look at the Zerg of Bretonnian Knights fighting. But the Grand Shield of Faith going down, the Hammer of Sigmar, all of the different things like this. There's going to be a lot of buffs, but the Fey Enchantress is also draining and lowering melee attack of these nearby troops. So I really have no predictions here. I mean, the state troops on the far side are buckling. The Bretonnian infantry, the men-at-arms are crumbling. And there are some knights that are actually trapped out. So the halberds are trying to push through. Sarmatian's trying to push through these men-at-arms or spearmen-at-arms with shields, but he's not able to get to the middle. And I think, oh, a Chalice of Potions going down. It's just so destructive. Right on top of those halberds. Oh, but he did have the Grand Soulfire down, which gave 90% resistance against magic, it looks like. It might have been up at that time, I'm not sure. But man, what a just a massive Zerg here in the middle. The forces of the Empire just piling in the spears, the swords. They're throwing everything they can in here. And it looks like the Bretonnian Knights are in pretty good shape. I mean, none of them are taking a lot of damage. Boyka is going to be pulling back with his Questing Knights, probably coming up and under and just doing a bit of a pincer here, or just a somewhat a surround of these Griffites. But those cycling buffs from Volkmar as well as the Warrior Priest definitely helping out quite a bit. But the Bretonnian Knights are just going to be charging in. Another massive charge coming in down the hill, which is going to come into the back of the Imperial forces. And yeah, I don't know. Blob City. Oh, I know. Imagine a foot of Gork on this blob. That would be absolute insanity here. So the swordsmen here fighting tooth and nail. You can see the peasant bowmen archers are also shooting in, but some of the Empire Knights have gotten around the back. Yeah, my apologies for the lag, guys. Not much you can do. Sometimes when you have someone connecting from like Europe or Eastern Europe to someone in the States, there can be a little bit of lag. It does happen sometimes. So Demogryph Knights with halberds charging into the back, actually able to break some of these Bretonnian infantry, and they can always cycle up and clean up the archers. Bretonnian archers in the back, it looks like there have been some that have rallied who are shooting in here, but really, there is honestly no way of telling how this is going to go. This is just... Oh, but it looks like the Empire is enduring. I think the Bretonnians are starting to falter a little bit. The Fey Enchantress is like the Warrior Priest plus Volkmar and the Royal Altar of Griffites with their Terror Route, and the Grand Soulfire just helping them against the magic damage of the Fey Enchantress seems to be pretty strong. Oh my god, this is just such a disgusting blob. But like they're both using blob tactics, right? You have the Shield of Faith and the Warrior Priest buff like hitting everyone here, but then you have the Fey Enchantress and her healing hitting everyone. But it looks like the Bretonnians are starting to falter. The Empire is enduring. I mean, I really thought the Bretonnians had a really nice kind of a overlapping charge there on the hill, but the Empire is just like Fall Sigma, just pushing up the hill, driving the Bretonnians back into the forest, it looks like, with the Demogryph Knights here. Just, yeah, it's a bit of a rave here going on. Oh man, I don't know. I think the Empire's going to take this one. I think Sarmation's probably going to take game one here. The Spearmen just pushing up. The Swordsmen able to actually outclass the Foot Squires with the buffs of the Warrior Priest. Volkmar's in great shape. The Questing Knights are just getting pounded. The Fey Enchantress is falling back. And it looks like the Bretonnians are having to retreat and kind of regroup their forces as the Empire just sallies forth. Sigmar definitely, oh yeah, Banishment would be really, really good here, but I don't think... There was a really good Chalice of Potions early on. And the Bretonnian Archer is doing some decent Overwatch fire here, but the Knights of the Bretonnians are charging back in, but just the Sigmar erection just pushing forward. The Volkmar and the Warrior Priest and just these Halberds and Demogryph Knights and just all this stuff. If you guys take a look here over at the top of the battlefield, they're just forcing the Bretonnians back into the forest. They're like, go back to your lady. Yeah, I don't know. I really thought the Bretonnians would be able to do it a little bit better with the Fey Enchantress here, but the Fey Enchantress is just being slapped around by Volkmar right now. The Demogryph Knights in here as well, so it's getting a little bit crazy. Yeah, the Bretonnian Knights trying to charge back in to save their lady, but I don't know if they're going to have enough stopping power here. Volkmar the Grim is able to kill the Fey Enchantress. Wow, Warrior Priest is in great shape. The Royal Altar of Griffites still have 17 of their 24 models, and they cause terror, and the State Troops are also able to buckle the Men-at-Arms here. Swordsmen pushing back the chaff on the hills. And yeah, it's looking like the Empire is going to take out that grind fest. Yeah, I mean, I really expected this not to be a pit fight like that. Like, Empire and Bretonnia typically go wide and are like pressuring flanks, but like, it just ended up being this disgusting pit fight, which was kind of fun to watch actually, aside from the lag, but oh my gosh. Sigmar Erection has arrived. That was like the Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones when like Jon Snow is fighting the, You guys remember the scene where like Jon Snow is like surrounded, him and his troops, and then the Knights of the Vale come to like rescue him? That was basically like what that was. That was so gross. Oh my god. That was really funny though. I loved it. Sarmation coming in with the might of Sigmar. Alright, 1-0 for Sarmation here. We'll see what they're going to pick. And let me make sure they switch map. Blobs 101. Have more buffs at all times. If you're overlapping the Warrior Priest plus Volkmar buffs, you're going to have buffs for like minutes at a time. Minutes. And it looks like Boyka's going to be going to Chaos in game 2. And we'll see what Sarmation's going to be picking. Oh, Sigma! We're on the Altdorf outskirts. What else versus Chaos? All right, we're probably not going to get a blob here. This is probably going to be a little bit more technical, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. And hopefully we don't have any lag in the finals. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for joining. Oh my god, I love that scene in Game of Thrones, the Battle of the Bastards, when Jon Snow just like marches forward with his sword and he doesn't like, he just like thinks he's going to be rode down, and then his knights just collide. Like that battle so perfectly captures like the intensity with like mud flying and just gritty, like horses colliding. Like, man, that was so good. For sure. Game of Thrones does the battles really well, like really well. You're rubbing... Sean says he's rubbing his Archaon chubby right now. That's lovely. Lovely. So guys, something else we're going to be doing on the channel, starting in the next couple weeks, we're going to be starting to cast Warcraft 3 games quite a bit. So Warcraft 3 Reforged is going to be a pretty big part of the channel. Warcraft 3 was like my favorite RTS game of all time. Like, I just love Warcraft 3. So when Reforged comes out, we're going to be doing tournaments, casts, all kinds of stuff. So if you guys do enjoy Warcraft 3, we're going to be getting back into that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, the giant when he like charges through the gate in that scene. Oh god, that was so tragic. And then Ramsay Bolton. Yeah, you see, that's why though. I did watch The Outlaw King on Netflix, and I kind of was like thinking of Game of Thrones the whole time. I was like, the battles don't feel impactful here. Like in Game of Thrones, there's like mud and brutality, and like it's like I feel like even though it's like fantasy, I felt like it captures some of the brutality of like war and conflict. Whereas like Outlaw King was kind of just like a cut to this guy fighting, a cut to this guy fighting, with the guys in the background just kind of patty caking each other. In terms of the fight choreography, I did enjoy the movie though. Outlaw King was a lot of fun, but it didn't measure up to me. Yeah. Yeah. Ready to work. Oh, I love Grubby. Yeah, Grubby's, I watch him almost every day. Oh yeah. I loved Warcraft 3. I love Warcraft 3. That was my jam. I played, so Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness was my first. I played Warcraft 2 on AOL browser in like the 90s, and that's what really got me into RTS. That and the Command and Conquer series. So Red Alert 2 was like one of my favorite of all time. So I played Warcraft 3, the Red Alert series. I played all of those, or Warcraft 2. Then I played Warcraft 3, Brood War, original StarCraft. I used to play like LAN parties as a kid with that game. Like, man, so good. All right, guys, so we're here. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual game at hand. We do have the Wood Elves led by Sarmatian facing off against the forces of Boyka. It's going to be bringing the Hordes of Chaos. And it looks like for Sarmatian, he does have a Glade Lord atop his Mighty Eagle with the Prey of Anathrama. Pretty standard competitive stuff. Spell Singer with Lore of Shadows. And it looks like a couple groups of Way Watchers, which are going to be one of those high-risk, high-reward units. You can dumpster things, but if they get caught, man, do you lose a lot of money quick. So they're going to need to do some work for sure. Wild Riders, some spears in the back, so it looks like he's playing very, very wide, trying to spread out the forces of chaos and pick them apart. Wild Riders here, Wild Riders here. He does have a couple groups of the Glade Riders with the Hagbane tips. Yeah, so poison, skirmishing, that kind of stuff. Going to be good. And for Chaos, we do have Chaos Marauders in the front line. Aspiring Champions. Oh, man, I love watching those guys play. Aspiring Champions are such a cool-looking unit. He does have the Soul of Damnation, so he's going to be forcing the Wood Elves in. I think that the Wood Elves are going to try and pick this off and then force it into a bit of a wild fight. The Boyka's army's looking really good. He's got Warp Chicken. He's got the KFC King. I mean, he's got tools. He's got Chaos Warriors. He has a Marauder Horseman in the back. We're actually pretty good at skirmishing with the Wood Elves. I mean, they're not as good, but they give you some options for sure. Let them know they start when ready. Yeah, no, this is definitely a pretty good Wood Elf build. It's going to be a competitive showcase. But you can see here the Marauder Horsemen being hidden in the forest. I mean, he could even deploy them over here, but you need to be careful because Wild Riders will massacre them, and they have shields. They can chase them down. As far as speed on the Marauder Horsemen, they do have, go ahead and see, yeah, 90 speed compared to the Wild Riders who have 85, so they're a little bit faster than that, so they should be able to run. But Warp Chicken is very tough to kill. It's very, very tough to kill. Missile Cav spam. Are you you don't like that, Ninja? No, man. Oh, man. Yeah, Grubby is great. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Grubby. He's an OG. But as far as predictions go, it's hard to say. The Soul of Damnation can definitely generate some pretty good value. It's not going to be able to see the Way Watchers, so I think they're going to kind of creep up here through the forest and snipe it in like 1 or 2 volleys. Does he have the Arrow of Kernus? He does. Arrow of Kernus is pretty good against that as well. The Wood Elves are going to pour forward with their Glade Riders, but of course Boyka does have his Marauder Horseman here in the forest and a couple other tools. So yeah, here we go. It's showtime, boys. The game is on. So the Way Watcher is pushing up. It looks like the Soul of Damnation coming in, damning some of these souls. It does pick off 2 of them, so it's not as impactful against these type of troops who are a little bit of a looser formation. The Aspiring Champions do have silver shields. They're going to be able to tank that firepower pretty easily. Oh my god, look at the heat seeking on that thing. Jesus, that thing just like peeled across the map and did like a hard left. And I don't think he's manually aiming that, so... the Arrow of Kernus is going to be coming in as well, most likely, I would imagine, from this Glade Lord trying to snipe out the Soul of Damnation. And the Glade Lord is just going to start shooting that artillery piece in the back, which he should. And I would even pull the Way Watchers like up here and just get like 1 massive volley on those guys. The rest of the Chaos Forces are just going to be rotating through the forest here. The Marauder Horsemen and these other troops getting ready to push out. But there are Wild Riders here. It is a bit of a trap. The Wild Riders can collapse and get a ton of kills, which could potentially cost him the game very quickly. Soul of Damnation, though, paying its dues. Look at these Glade Riders just being torn apart. These ones are also taking damage. The KFC King's coming in, but the Soul of Damnation is about to go down for sure. And you can see the Chaos Dwarves are like, run, scurry! And it looks like the giant Venus launcher thing is pretty much destroyed for now. But yeah, so, I mean, you definitely should have had the Marauder Horsemen like counter skirmishing, keeping them at bay to allow the Soul of Damnation to do its job. Or had his infantry pushed up a little bit further, because now it's going to be tough. But at the very least, the Soul of Damnation did do its work, right? The Glade Riders took some damage. I mean, took some here, so it wasn't completely useless. But again, he did lose quite a bit of value on that thing. So Wild Riders on the far side are going to be getting attacked by the Chaos Poison Warhounds, and a Prey of Anathrama going down. And these Marauder Horsemen are going to be annihilated by these Wood Elf Cavs. So the Wild Riders charging in. They're definitely going to be skewering some of these guys. And yeah, these guys are done for. Already looking like a pretty good game for the Wood Elves. The Chaos Infantry seem a little bit aimless. You know, they're looking for opportunities to engage. But the Wood Elves definitely doing good. But ooh, Chaos Knight's coming in. Double Chaos Knight charge here on the Wild Riders. Heavy Cav are so tough for the Wood Elves to deal with. He's going to have to start using things like Melkos Mystifying Miasma to slow them and damage them, and then get that heavy firepower from the Way Watchers over there. Because in the meantime, he's using it on the Chaos Marauders. Looks like. No, they're actually on they haven't fired yet. So if any of you guys are Wood Elf players, you usually want to have your Way Watchers on manual fire, and you don't want to be having them auto fire because they do run out of ammo quite quick and they're very expensive. So Chaos Knights are sallying forth, trying to revenge the launcher there in the back, and you can see the Chaos Knights pushing. They might be able to get here, but there are some spears You can see the Wild Riders are forming up ranks on the Eternal Guard, which is so cool looking. And it looks like the Poison Hounds might be able to get this caster. That would be a pretty good catch, or if they could even catch the Glade Riders, but they're going after the caster there. Warp Chicken is coming in with his drumstick to cause some problems, but very good play here from Sarmation, rotating his spears outward to intercept these Chaos Knights. And here comes the intercept, and they're able to kind of block up those Knights, but the Knights do get a partial charge. But this is where the bread gets buttered, guys. This is where, like, all of the croissants just get the business. These Way Watchers are going to unleash a hellish volley on these Chaos Knights right now. It's going to do a lot of damage for sure. Granted, Warp Chicken actually got in front of that volley and was able to intercept, and it looks like there's going to be a final transmutation going down here. No, he doesn't. He has the transmutation of lead. It's still not bad at all. So in the meantime, the Wild Riders are trying to chase down the Marauder Horsemen, who are going to kite them and probably be able to finish them off. Chaos Marauders do intercept these Eternal Guard here, and it looks like Boyka is actually able to get the Spellsinger with Shadows right here. He's able to kind of take that guy out. So really good pick here, kind of clawing his way back into the game. He's also picking apart the Wild Riders with the transmutation. But these Way Watchers are really going to be problematic. Chaos Marauders actually caught some of these Blade Riders, but these guys are going to be... It would have been really nice to see that searing or piercing bolts over here on these Way Watchers. But Chaos is in a bit of a pickle, though. They're pinned against Eternal Guard. They're taking massive Way Watch fire. You can see Boyka is going to be trying to detach these Chaos Knights to charge them over into the Wood Elves. The Spellsinger with the Lord of Shadows coming back like Gandalf in the the Battle of Helm's Deep there, or Hornsburg. And yeah, look at that. Drumstick Chicken, though. He clubs a bunch of those guys. So we have a pretty close battle. The bounce of power has been creeping slightly in the favor of the Wood Elves, but Chaos has made a couple plays, like getting the caster. Oh no, and the KFC King is able to just dumpster that Spellsinger with the Lord of Shadows. So getting rid of the Melkost and the slows is going to be huge. So really nice retaliation there by Boyka. The Glade Rider does charge in, or the Glade Lord does charge in to intercept these Chaos Knights. And the Way Watchers are... Yeah, I mean, there's a big tide of Chaos coming. Chaos might be able to get their way back in. If this like Horde can get on the Way Watchers, that's pretty much game if he can compromise all three of those. So you can see here, Sarmation with the veteran play is going to be splitting up his forces, running them in all three directions here. Probably getting some decent crossfire, but yeah, he needs to... Oh man, the Chaos Knights are coming in. They're going to get that chubby charge here on the Way Watchers. Way Watchers are so vulnerable. They do have decent melee defense, but yeah, their armor is going to be pretty poor against the Chaos Knights. But he only got one group through, but the Hounds got in as well, but they do get countercharged by the Glade Riders here, so they're able to secure those Way Watchers. And it looks like the Wood Elves might be able to kind of stabilize this backline situation if they can pick apart all the heavy cav. Ooh, and the Wild Riders come in as well and are able to kill those Marauder Horsemen. So that's really big. So now the KFC King is kind of, you know, yeah, a little bit of a King Theoden before he gets rescued by Gandalf. He's alone. And I don't know. The Glade Lord might be able to fight the KFC King, but there isn't a lot of stopping power against KFC King here. He might be able to just drag out the ammunition. The Chaos do have some decent infantry pockets. Chaos Warriors, 70 of them over here, which are going to be really tough to actually kill. I don't know. Chaos might be able to pull this one out, guys. Chaos might be able to pull this one out. I think the Way Watchers are too heavily compromised right now. I mean, there are some Eternal Guard and Wild Riders helping out, but he's taking a lot of damage on some very expensive archers, and there's still a massive tide of Chaos Infantry, Aspiring Champs, and Warriors over here. These aren't Marauders. These are Warriors, which are quite powerful, right? KFC King is like full health. I don't know. I think Boyka might be able to pull this one back, even though it looked pretty good for the Wood Elves in the beginning. Because, like, it's going to be so micro-intensive to win this. And all this ammunition is being wasted on the KFC King. Now, he did use the Prey of Anathrama to lower his missile resist, which puts him down into the 40s, but he's still, like, this is not the most efficient use of the ammo when there's tons of armored Chaos Infantry marching towards you. It's going to be, like, take so much effort to get rid of them. So, these Wild Riders are going to be charging the Chaos Infantry, doing a little bit of damage, but Chaos Warriors are very resilient. They have 100 armor plus really good melee defense. The Glade Lord charges in as well and intercepts the Marauder Horsemen. And Chaos Knights and Hounds and just so many Chaos Infantry are rallying here. It's going to be tough. It could be a game for the Wood Elves. We've had some really good, even matches today here on stream. Sartorial taking a little bit of missile pressure. He's down to 2,300. If the KFC King could go, you can see the bounce power is slightly in the favor of Sarmation, but it's like, even still, there's so many of these like heavy Chaos Infantry coming for you. And the ammo is running pretty low, right? Like, he's going to have to do some heavy cycle charging to really stabilize here and potentially pull out this game. Even the Soul of Damnation crew is waddling. These Chaos Dwarves are coming in to try and, you know, lend their hammers to the forge. And I don't know. I really don't know. That's a lot of Chaos Infantry to take out. 75. I mean, the Glade Lord is engaged against the Warp Chicken right now. And the Warp Chicken... Is that the Glade Lord? No, those are actually just... I thought that was the Glade Lord. But the Glade Lord should come in melee and actually attack the KFC King. Because he's getting really low. I mean, right now, Sarmation is just using everything he can. Like, despite the missile resist, he's like, I just have to kill this thing. I have to. And he does need to, for sure. Chaos Warriors charging in. There are some Wild Riders. So, I think if... The Wild Riders are able to kind of keep generating... Yeah, the Hagbane tips are all out of ammo. The Wild Rider rear charges are going to have to be really good. He's going to have to like pick everything apart. But these Way Watchers are actually being caught by Chaos Warriors. And it looks like the Marauder Horseman doing a bit of a downhill charge. The Drumstick Master is at 600 HP, give or take. Chaos is not in bad shape, even though the bounce power is in the favor of the Wood Elves. I mean, that's sometimes it'll like show that, but you also have to look at the variable of what's left on the battlefield. So here comes the Glade Lord. He's going to be charging in. He needs to charge in and kill this KFC Master. Like, he needs to. Yeah, just get in there. Just get in there and give 72 HP, and down goes the Warp Chicken. The Warp Chicken does fall to the charge. The Wood Elves might be able to stabilize. That's still a lot of Chaos Infantry, though. Are they going to be able to do it? I think the Wood Elves probably will be able to pull this out because of cycle charging while, you know, they have their spears and some of their other troops kind of hold here. And they still do have a Lord who does cause fear, so that's going to be helpful. Aspiring Champions, of course, providing encouragement. But really well played by Boyka. I mean, despite losing the Soul of Damnation initially, he was able to kind of force his way through. Made a couple mistakes with the blobbing, but still put on a great performance for sure. Yeah, and the Wood Elves looks like they're starting to pull pretty far ahead. The Wild Riders, of course, doing great. Way Watchers can fight, and the Glade Lord is going to be tough to kill for sure. The Warp Chicken, he just had to like gun that guy down through like pure attrition here. These Chaos Warriors, looks like there's 36 models here. The Soul of Damnation crew is being cleaned up in the back by these Glade Riders with the Hagbane's hips. And the last of the Chaos Infantry are fighting hard. I mean, they're doing a good job. They're not pushovers, these guys. 68 models here and 66. Now, if you are going to be playing Chaos against Wood Elves and you want to use the Soul of Damnation, I've actually seen a really good showcase of that from Romulan Zoggin, one of the Ever-Chosens. You need to have like more layers between your front line and the Soul, so then like the Wood Elves can't advance freely, and you also need to be kind of skirmishing in the front line to keep back their flying units from sniping the Soul. And that way you're able to get some pretty good value actually. But yeah, Chaos is going to get cleaned up from the rear charges. Even though they could like grind it out pretty hard here with their remaining troops, it's going to be an army losses issue here in a moment. So yeah. Colonel Sanders. Yeah. KFC's down. That's going to be it. So Sarmation is going to be taking this and playing in the finals versus the Flying Taco. What a day. What a day. So I will tell Sarmation to stay in the lobby here in just a moment, and we'll update the scoreboard. So let's go ahead and do that. Very well played. That was a very that was a good game. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. All right, so 2-0 for Sarmation. Well played to Boyka. And let me talk to the guys here, and GG. Sarm, stay here. And we will get Taco. All right. That was a great one for sure. So guys, we're going to take a quick intermission while I get the next game set up here, and we will be back in just a moment. In the meantime, I will put on some music for you guys. Hopefully not something too intense. William Tell, you guys want some Beethoven? I feel like that's like totally like Moonlight Sonata is pretty good too, but it's like the energy. We'll do Hall of the Mountain King. All right, guys, we'll be back in just a minute. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you soon. All right, guys, and we're back. Let's go ahead and update the scoreboards here real quick. We'll get, oh, I only have to update one, which is quite convenient. So we'll set that back to 0 there. And this is going to be a best of 5 between Sarmation and the Flying Taco. We've had some good games, a little bit of a technical difficulty earlier, but you know what? We forced our way. We made it work. And here we are in the grand finals between Sarmation and Flying Taco. And now, guys, this is going to be, these two players now are competing for a piece of 8. So you can see here, if we go to the pieces of 8 section, Rightist won the first week. So there's going to be 8 streams in total. And then the 9th stream is going to be an ever-chosen style of tournament. It's going to be an 8-player tournament. It's going to be all day. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have sponsors. We're going to have raffles. Lady Turin is doing a custom giveaway for that. She's doing a painting, actually, of Vampire Coast, like a hand-done painting. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on then. So yeah, it's going to be a good time, guys. We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. We're going to be making this a regular thing, trying to have a little structure, right? Like have a season. It also allows people to, newer people to come in, right? Like Flying Taco, I don't think has ever played in any of the tournaments. So yeah, we're trying to do that. It's going to be good. So yeah, they're just kind of picking the matchups right now because of course they weren't able to discuss that beforehand. And I'll be back in 1 second. I just need to get a little something from the other room. I returned. So it looks like we might actually have a Wood Elves versus the Tomb Kings, which would actually be a pretty fun matchup for sure. Yeah, and also guys, if you're enjoying the stream, I see that we have 1,228 people here. If you guys could click the like button. I know it might not be something, if you're laying on the couch or whatever, I know it might not be something that's convenient, but it does help out quite a bit. Essentially what it does is if you have more likes on a video, YouTube's algorithm will share the video with more people outside of my regular community. So it pulls in new people. It helps me out, you know, from a business perspective. So definitely make sure to hit that like button. If we get up to 1,000, that'd be nice. I'd understand if we don't quite get there, but anything close would be very, very appreciated. So here we are. I'm not muted. yeah, we got Wood Elves versus the Tomb Kings here. And yeah, I guess we could put up a screen blocker. I mean, he's already picked his army, so we'll do it for the next game, but I trust these guys. Faust, thank you for the €1 donation. Really appreciate it. Thank you, my dude. We have to get you in one of these tournaments, my friend. One second, let me turn off the music. Yeah, because now that I'm not in spectator mode, I guess it doesn't, hold on 1 second, guys. Just setting up something, a little something for you guys. Oh, hey, Luther. What's up, dude? Yeah, we can just put that there for now. I mean, it doesn't really matter. These guys, like, I trust these guys, but I guess you never know. Cody Bayer says, hey, Turin, I'll copy a link to my favorite classics on Spotify. You ever want? Yeah, please. Send them my way. Send them my way. Okay. Yes, my glorious wrist tendonitis typing. Hit the like button. God, Riverbank. Thank you, man. Thank you for the donation. Helman Gorst. If I was in this tournament, I'd pick Helman Gorst for sure. I would pick the boy. I would let the boy watch. So the first battle is going to be on the Ekrend, if I'm not mistaken, which is a pretty good map. Somewhat open field. You know, decent enough for the Wood Elves and Tomb Kings. They both have really powerful range capability, so there's going to be quite a bit. I know, jump scare. There should have been a jump scare for that Luther Harkin. We'll get Chuck Norris back. Maybe I'll have Lady Turin make a custom screen blocker. Favorite Lord of the Rings character? That's tough, man. It's like, that's so hard. I mean, Gandalf probably. Yeah. Gandalf. Yeah, why did it take us to this map? Every time we pick Ekrund, it takes us to this map. That's a little bit of a bug, unfortunately. Because there's a couple maps that when you pick them, it takes you to this map. Oh, man. Okay, let me check with the guys. Do you guys want to... There is a map bug. I'm good, baby. Thank you. Thanks, darling. I actually like this map. It's pretty fun to watch, but it is very close quarters and small, so it's going to be up to the players. We can restart it now, or maybe we can just play it. But, yeah. The best Lord of the Rings character is the Balrog. Yeah, I got rid of the face, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. He says, I don't mind. It screws us both equally. Yeah, that's true. Let's do it. This should be fun. Throwing a curveball in the metagame, right? So the map bug means that when you pick a certain map in multiplayer and you start the game, it puts you on a different map for some godforsaken reason. And this is one of the ones. So if you pick Ekrund as one of your maps, it'll send you to this map. Yeah. I agree with you, Ninja. Yes. I agree. All right, so here we are. We have a matchup between the Wood Elves, who are going to be led by Sarmatian, and the Tomb Kings, who are going to be led by the Flying Taco. So for the forces of the Wood Elves, we're again going to be seeing a Glade Lord with the... Oh, this is actually the melee variant, so he's switching it up. So this variant actually has the Helm of Discord, which is a very powerful item. It does massive AoE debuffs. So what he's probably going to be looking to do is swoop in, give the Call of the Woods to his nearby dragon, use Helm of Discord, and just basically snipe out the Tomb King's units, which is going to be really cool. Got a Forest Dragon. He does have a Spellslinger with the Lore of Life here, so a very different Wood Elf build, which is going to be quite a bit of fun to see. Eternal Guards here, a couple groups of War Dancers, which are very exceptional at mulching down skeletons and Tomb Guard and things like that. As far as his mobile force, he does have Wild Riders or Sisters of Thorn here in the back, Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips, and that's pretty much it. So a very different Wood Elf build. We're going to be seeing a Forest Dragon and the melee Glade Lord, right, who gives the melee attack and has the Helm of Discord. That's going to be really neat to see how that performs against the Tomb Kings here, which is going to be really fun. So send him to the Icy Lakes, I know. And it looks like the battle's underway, and I think there was a Vanguard back here. Look, there was a Wild Rider Vanguard right behind this Tomb King army. It has been revealed right out of the gates, but here you can see Flying Taco is going to be advancing with hordes of skeletons. Spears on the flanks, a couple groups of Nehekar horsemen who will get annihilated by Wild Riders. But again, Ushabti Grapos have turned about face here, and they're going to start shooting at the Wild Riders, and it's definitely not going to be fun for those guys. There is a Lich Priest with the Lore of Light, so he could potentially net those guys down. So I really like this build, and he does have a Tomb King. So Lore of Light, going to be going for battlefield control, trying to net things down and shoot them down with his Skeleton Archers and Ushabti Grapos. This is a very scary firing line. And you can see here that the Flying Taco is going to be farming a bit of a Helm's Deep against the Wood Elves. He's going to scoot up his bows, and he's just going to unleash hell on the Forest Dragon and some of those other troops. So this is going to be a really fun battle. I'm quite excited. Those Wild Riders took a little bit of damage from the Ushabti Grapos. Granted, this map does have a lot of forest, so both players are kind of like screwed by this a little bit, right? So I definitely think it's going to be quite a bit of fun. Yeah, so here we go. The dragon's going to be swooping about. Could get some juicy breath attacks. If the Blessed Legion of Demonetization is here, let's go ahead and see. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So we just had regular Skeleton Archers. In the meantime, the Ushabti Grapos turning over here to the western part of the battlefield and are just wasting these Wild Riders. Those guys are just getting put in a can. The Nehekar Horsemen here are going to be kind of on the wings. Actually, if I were Sarmatian, I would probably just take this engagement. Oh, but Sarmatian's going to let them get charged. The Wild Rider's taking the full brunt of that charge here, but he does countercharge. But, oh man, his leadership is so poor. He definitely wants this fight, though. Wild Riders and Sisters of Thorn should be able to beat Nehekar Horsemen. The Wood Elves are going to be engaging in the front, and it looks like a massive pressure from the back here. The Wild Riders charging into the Tomb Guard, and it looks like he's trying to goon out the Tomb King. So he uses the Helm of Discord. The dragon's coming in, and oh, he gets caught in the net of Amnitok. Beautiful play here from the Flying Taco. Helm of Discord has gone down, which is giving huge damage, but this is an all-in play from the Wood Elves. In the front line, the War Dancers have engaged with the Skeleton Warriors, so eventually they will get through. I would have liked to have seen Sarmatian maybe be a little bit more patient and wait for the Alpha Strike until the front line engagement had gone under. But the Spellsinger with the Lore of Life getting taken out does get a regrowth off, but man, this is not going well for Sarmatian. His dragon getting caught in that net was just so punishing. And in the back here, you can see the Sisters of Thorn are fighting Nehekar Horsemen, but that's really not going terribly well either. And it looks like the Alpha Strike did not go as planned. The Wood Elves tried to swoop in with Helm of Discord. The dragon was very essential, but the Tomb King was on foot. So the Foot Lord is a really tough target. The dragon coming in for that booty, but pulling back after just taking massive amounts of firepower. Sarmatian needs to rally his forces here in the forest and get some really good Earthbloods off if he wants any chance of getting back in this game. So he does rally his Lord, or his Caster, it looks like. The Lord hasn't rallied yet, but it should be able to come back. Now, the War Dancers were able to annihilate the front line. He probably wants to scoot those guys through if he can. Big breath attack coming in. Yeah, these guys should go in as well. The Glade Riders with Hagbane Tip should go ahead and attack these archers. I think that'd be really nice to shut them down. But a really rough initial opening here for Sarmatian as his Alpha Strike is countered by the Tomb Kings. And this Glade Lord is going to go off the battlefield. Oh, that's so bad. Ugh, can still be healed. That is brutal. So he does stabilize his caster. The Dragon is still alive. His cab over there on the far side get taken out. And that is going to be all she wrote. Man. It's a little bit laggy, huh? Man, yeah. Let me see. Let me go ahead and make sure the stream quality is okay. Yeah, it looks okay on my end. Hard to say. Man, brutal. Brutal. So let's go ahead and update the scoreboard here. The Alpha Strike didn't plan out. Tomb King's definitely able to stabilize pretty well there. So let's go ahead and update that for 1-0 for Flying Taco. The Footlord coming in the clutch. Dragon got netted. Looks like. Yeah. What are they saying? Did I drop? No, I'm here. Game 2. Yeah, I believe he definitely, the game was over. The Tomb Kings had won that. They had most of their force together for sure. Yeah, that was a really good build from Flying Taco for sure. Yeah, so they're working on the matchups right now. Yeah, it could be YouTube. YouTube sometimes like lags my content and like delays the audio after the fact. Hopefully it wasn't that laggy. I mean, I minimized and looked at my dropped frames and it doesn't look like I dropped too many frames, just a little bit. And we got some donations as well, so let me go ahead and get to those. We got a donation from Riverbank, Faust again with the €2. Hit like. Don't make me keep donating. And Fly on Bread gives $10. Turin, really appreciate all you do to build the multiplayer community. Hope to play in one of these. Yeah, we'll get you in here, Fly. For sure. I want to get... How the seasons work is every stream is going to have 4 different players, right? So you can't have the same player in 2 streams in a season. So it's going to be 4 new players every single stream, which is going to allow many more people to play in these tournaments, which is going to be fun. And if you guys want to play in future seasons, there's going to be... if we actually have a mod in here, could give a link to the Discord channel. There's a section called the League Request, where you can go in and just say, hey, I want to play in future seasons. I basically just add you to a list. The stream froze for about a minute, huh? It's weird. That's so weird. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just some people. It could be like a localized thing as well. So let me go ahead and get the screen blocker up just in case. And there we go. We're good. YouTube is punishing us for not enough likes. Yeah. So currently Flying Taco up 1-0. It is a best of 5. So definitely going to be a lot of Warhammer for you guys today. And again, big thanks to all of you guys for joining here on stream. It's been fun so far. It's been fun. And my apologies for some of the technical difficulties. We've been working out, trying to experiment with different bit rates and really optimize the stream because the quality did look a little bit low in some of the last streams. So I wanted it to be better this time. So I raised the bit rate. I have really fast internet, but it seems to kind of fluctuate a little bit. So hopefully we can get everything under control. Oh, man. Okay, so Janet was saying that the stream was fine for him. So it could perhaps be something that's more localized to the individuals who are having problems with it freezing. Hopefully it's not. I'll check after the fact on the stream and the playback and see if it actually was lagging, but hopefully it wasn't. And we got Chaos versus Norsca. Ooh, yeah. Oh, man, is it going to be the Ever-Chosen versus I hope it's Ever-Chosen versus Wulfric. Like, that's a very thematic battle, right? Like, does Norsca join the Ever-Chosen, or are they beaten into subservience, right? Like, can Wulfric create his own kind of path here? Oh, man, it is so cool. Yes. Yeah, YouTube saw that no Helman Gorse was in the game, and they got upset. So yeah, guys, the tournament brackets for today, you guys saw it. Of course, we are here in the finals, the best of 5 between Sarmatian and Flying Taco. Pieces of 8. The winner of this best of 5 will earn one of these pieces of 8 here. Rightist did win the first week, had some really, really solid victories. The winner of this series is going to earn another piece of 8. And once we get to all 8, we will be having an Ever-Chosen style event, which is going to be awesome. Really excited for that. There's going to be raffles, just all kinds of good time. Salty Saxon says, hey, Papa T, massive fan. Can you do a top 10 worst spells in multiplayer? I actually like that idea, Salty. I'd probably do top 5. 10, yeah, I'll probably do top 5. I actually have a video coming out on the top 5 best Vampire Coast units, which is going to be done by Monday or Tuesday. So I'll go ahead and get back into the game here. It'll be good. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Salty, I actually will do something on some of the worst spells. I think that'd be great. James, thank you for the donation. Loving the stream. Keep up the good content. Hey, man, I got you. Let me go ahead and link you guys some Discord stuff. If I can do that while we're waiting here. We have time anyway, so. Yeah, so there's a section called the Eternal Challenger League, and then there's a Turin League Request, which is the subsection you would actually comment in. So we go to YouTube, hook you guys up. I know there's a lot of people who are here for the first time, so maybe you guys haven't had a chance to get in the old Discord community yet. There you go. Join up if you're not. Make sure to follow the rules, be polite, treat people with respect and sportsmanship, and you will fit in just fine. All right, so we are here now. Let me go ahead and get rid of Luther Harkin, unless you guys want me to leave him the entire match, and we can just kind of guess what's hidden behind him. Showdown between the Warriors of Chaos, who are going to be led by Archaon, a little bit more chosen now, because again, he has really good AP values, one of the strongest duelists in the game with his new AP buffs. And he's going to be facing off against the forces of Flying Taco, who's going to be led by Wulfric the Wanderer on his heavy metal mammoth. Oh, man. The invite shouldn't be invalid. Italian Spartacus, if you're in chat, my friend, could you give a link to the Discord for these fine people here? Yeah, Tyrion, I'm pretty sure will beat Archaon, but if Archaon's using his magic, I think he beats Tyrion. It's hard to say. Current stream is awesome. Tell the Wookiee to keep up the good work. Thank you, man. So, for the forces of Chaos here, we do have the Mirror Guard. We got some Chaos Warriors with great weapons in the front. So a good combination of having basically anti-Marauder, anti-Standard Marauder, and he also has answers for the great weapons. So Norsca sometimes does mix those in. So having a combination of great weapons as well as the standard troops is going to be good. 2 halberds in the back to help against Famir, which I like quite a bit. Norsca has mammoths. They have Famir. They have a lot of large monsters, so that's going to be quite good. Sarmatian also does have the Summoners of Rage, the Foul Dragon Beasts, which are really good against Famir. These guys can lay a whooping on Famir, and on top of that, they're really good against Mammoth. So I love this pick here from Sarmatian. With Archaon, goddamn, the meta is awesome right now. Marauder Horsemen, 2 groups of those. We do have some Hounds here on the back. And Archaon staring into the distance with the Slayer of Kings and the Crown of Domination, which has gotten a pretty substantial buff. So here we go, guys. That is it for Chaos and the forces of Sarmatian. And now for the unsung hero of the day, the Flying Taco, coming in with the Steel Chair in a couple of his matches. He does have a front line Iceworm Marauders. He's got just standard Marauders in the front line, a couple champs on the flanks, it looks like. So Champions, Marauders. He's got Famir with great weapons. He does have Wulfric the Wanderer. And on top of that, he does have a Famir Balefine with Lore of Shadows, Spears in the back, and a massive force hidden over here, which looks to be Norscan Doggies. So he does have the Norscan Warhounds, who he's most likely going to be trying to hunt down the Marauder Horsemen with. So, oh man, this is going to be good. Oh, it looks like he might be. Oh, the hounds pour forth from the trees. The Norscan Warhounds with the Flying Taco coming in, and man, this could be some aggressive play right out of the gates here. So the Marauders taking some skirmisher damage from the Horsemen. They definitely want to be focusing down Wulfric, who only has 70 armor. And yeah, here we go. Go time. It is go time. The Marauder Horsemen are going to be kiting back, running from the Hounds, and they have their own Chaos Poison Warhounds here, who should be able to actually trade very efficiently because they have the poison. Archaon is going to be pouring forward as well. He could definitely intercept these Norscan Warhounds. But good skirmishing so far from Sarmatian. But, oh, Flying Taco actually gets a nice little charge here. He's able to grab some of these horsemen. So a couple of those guys are going to be dragged down by the dogs. And which is great, right? Because he's kind of keeping the Chaos Skirmishers from getting on the appropriate targets. Wulfric the Wanderer from Flying Taco being left back in reserve a little bit. So he's going to be pouring forward now and kind of trying to catch up with the rest of these forces. And yeah, this is a great game so far. The Norscan Warhounds looks like they're going to be trying to get us around, but good defensive tactics here from Sarmatian, having his own hounds, and Archaon do a little bit of screening. But the Norscan hordes are getting closer. Infantry quality. I think Chaos has a bit of an advantage with Mirror Guard and Halberds, great weapons and things like that. But Wulfric on his Mammoth. Oh, and a big old fireball is going down. Looks like it's going to be hitting Wulfric, so 1100 HP. Oh, no, it's actually going after the caster. So it hits the Famir Balefine with Shadows. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but definitely not bad. Like, it's not terrible. In the meantime, the Norscan Hounds are pursuing the Marauder Horsemen right here. The Poison Hounds from Chaos are swooping in as well, so I would probably do a rear charge with these Horsemen here. And Sarmatian looks like he's thinking about charging, maybe just throwing into the back. And the Summoners of Rage coming in, these Norscan Warhounds are just going to get pounded by these elite heavy troops of Chaos. Now, it looks like Wulfric's going to be piling forward with the rest of his troops. The Marauders and all those other troops are doing the same thing. Flying Taco is keeping his troops a little bit in the back here. He's keeping the Famir Warriors in reserve, but another fireball going down, which is going to hit that Famir Balefine. and Archeon is generating some value. Archeon should intercept Wulfric right now. Don't let Wulfric charge your infantry. Get in there with Archeon, stop him, or else he's just going to swiggity-swooty all over your troops with that Mammoth. So Archeon is kind of waiting back, and here comes the Mammoth. It does get in, but it looks like it kind of stops before it charges. He's definitely going to want to re-engage that. I think he might have switched the attack orders, but Archeon charges in, and he's going to do a ton of damage against Wulfric. Wulfric has a ton of HP, though. He has like 11,000, but Archeon chipping away at that HP very quickly. Alberts are piling in, and the battle on the flanks going pretty well. The Chaos Warhounds for Sarmation are able to take out the Norscan Hounds. They should be able to clean up both those guys. And the Summoners of Rage are kind of hanging out on the wings, but they definitely want to pile back in here and go after the Fimir. And it's basically going to be a pit fight between Archeon and Wulfric here. But it looks like, oh no, Archeon might actually be able to get this caster. And he is such a good assassin right now. He's coming in. He has the Slayer of Kings, 769 weapon strength. Absolutely chunking this Fimir Balefiend from Flying Taco. So the Ever Chosen finally living up to his name, just absolutely massacring this Fimir Balefiend, just tossing his salad so badly. And Wulfric is like afraid of that. He's like, I don't want any of that Archeon. And man, look at the damage coming in from Archeon. Wulfric does try and come back to intercept, but Archeon is much more maneuverable. He's going to be able to get around. So Chaos in the back does have some pressure coming in from the Spearmen, trying to get on some of these bigger targets, but Chaos has been pretty dominant this game. Sarmation doing a great job with Archeon, enfeebling foe going down as well. And yeah, I mean, the Mammoth is really good against infantry, right? He's going to be able to just trek these infantry and just charge all over them. But, oh yeah, nice rear charge here as well. Flying Taco does get these Iceworm Marauders up and around the back of the Chaos Infantry, but Premier Warriors are getting taken down. The Shadowcaster is gone. Chaos definitely in a pretty dominant position here as Archeon is just hunting down Wulfric. Wulfric's gotten some good kills, but oh, this is actually really good. Flying Taco was able to get spears around the back and get them engaged on the Summoners of Rage, and then Wulfric's coming in as well, but oh man, this is not a good situation here for the Norskins in the back. Halberds, anti-large, Archeon just buttering the bread of Wulfric the Wanderer, just absolute destruction. That is how Archeon should play for how expensive he is. I really like what Assembly did there. So here in the back, the Miststalkers are creeping in as well. They could rear charge these Chaos Infantry and pay some dues, or they could try and help out in the leadership fight, but it looks like Wulfric the Wanderer is not having a good time at all. He's going to be having to try and get back to his own troops here, which is good. Chaos definitely in a dominant position, and Sarmation is pulling no blows after that first game. Definitely wants vengeance here, and you can see the Chaos Warhounds are able to catch the caster in the back, chase him off. That magic coming back could have made a huge difference, right? But now we have a pit fight. We have, Wulfric giving the fight or die. We have a ton of Fimir coming in, the Miststalkers, but these skirmishers here, the Marauder Horsemen are doing a great job just poking things down. I really think that Chaos is in a very dominant position here, and they should be able to take the game. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy here. Who knows? Wulfric the Wanderer is trying to escape, but Archeon is just hunting, and Archeon actually taking a lot of damage. Hunter of Champions has gone down. Archeon is probably going to want to pull back here. His armor and melee defense is low. Wulfric actually gets a couple blows in on Archeon, which is pretty good. And the Norscan infantry are enraged. They're at their higher tier of enraged, which means they're going to be really strong in the late game. And the Mammoth, which is now saturated, is now starting to generate a little bit more value here. On the flank, you can see the Marauder Champions doing, a fireball coming in, and it slaps Wulfric for about 300 damage. If Archeon just sits and spams fireballs, he might be able to finish him off, but some Chaos Infantry are actually buckling, and it looks like somehow, someway, Norsca is able to win this battle here just through the enraged mechanic. The Chaos Infantry are buckled, they're running, and the Fimir and these infantry might be able to actually drag down the Dragon Ogres. The Dragon Ogres definitely need to pull back here. This is not a winning fight. The Norskins have seized the day in the center, and Wulfric the Wanderer is actually able to kind of stabilize a little bit. Now, if he hadn't lost his caster like that, I mean, this could be a dead even game in terms of the balance of power, but now, without his magic, he's really going to be relying on his infantry to grind this out, but Archeon the Ever Chosen, a cunning warrior as well as a sorcerer. The fireball is a bit of a miss. Oh man, this is going to be a brutal charge. Wulfric the Wanderer coming in on his Mammoth, and he's going to wreck these Chaos Infantry. But it looks like he stopped before he charged. Maybe? Yeah, no, here he comes. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So that one charge absolutely annihilates those Chaos Infantry. Does so much damage. And it looks like the Ever Chosen might be in a bit of a pickle here. Like, he needs to kill Wulfric. Wulfric is stacking on top of his infantry, doing a great job, and just causing so many problems. And the Chaos is running out of actual backbone. But if Archeon can somehow snipe Wulfric out with fireballs, here comes the fireball. It does. Wow, that did a ton of damage. So Wulfric the Wanderer is at 700 HP here. The Summoners of Rage are going down. Poison Warhounds charging in, but the enraged Norskins are just fighting to the bitter end. But if Archeon can get these attacks on Wulfric here, I think that's going to win the game for Chaos. But look at Norsca trying to fight its way back in. Flying Taco doing a great job at Sarmation, just on the hunt with the Ever Chosen. Beautiful fireballs, but look at that. The Summoners of Rage are taken out. Archeon, though, can now kill Wulfric the Wanderer, so that's going to be bad. Now that he's broken off, if Wulfric can somehow get back and rally here and get Summoners of Champions and maybe do, or Hunter of Champions and do a little bit more damage, maybe, but Archeon is on the hunt. He's coming for blood. Look at this guy. He's definitely going to be able to get him. I mean, Wulfric only has 400 HP, and the Ever-Chosen. Oh, is he going to do the Fireball no-scope? That's risky. I would keep chasing him. Oh, and the Fireball! Taking him out, and down goes Wulfric the Wanderer from the Fire Magic, and Archeon charging in the Slayer of Kings to cleave these treacherous Norskins here. Man, that was such a cool match. By far one of my favorite matches of the stream. But the Norskins are rallying everywhere else. I mean, they're still in this game, but I think it's going to be tough because the Marauder Horseman can cycle charge while Archeon is able to just like cleave the skulls for corn. Well, I guess, I don't know, Archeon. He does his own thing. He's a beast here. But man, that Fireball was beautiful. So really well played by both players. I think the Archeon play was what actually won him the game, and who would have thought that in a competitive setting, Archeon would be like the one carrying games. I really like the fact that he was buffed and he has good AP now because he can actually assassinate things. Yeah, that Fireball was awesome. Iceborne Marauders here, still enraged, fighting, which does give them leadership, and they're actually cleaning up a lot of these troops. I mean, there is a small chance that Archeon might not be able to finish off all these Norskins, but I really think that Chaos, he should pull back the Marauder Horsemen and wait, and then re-engage once Archeon is there. But this is a little bit scary, actually, for Archeon. Oh my gosh. This could potentially... I'm out of coffee. Summoners of Rage dropping the Lightning Storm right there. Ooh, that could send him to army losses. That's actually doing some really good damage against these Norscan infantry. And the Enrage mechanic is almost gone, so if he actually waits and lets the Enrage wear off, the Norskins are going to be quite a bit weaker, but it looks like he's going to be going for the Alpha Strike. Archeon does have the Crown of Domination, so he gives massive leadership buffs to all his nearby, or immunity to psychology and leadership to all his nearby troops. And the Lord of the End Times just swooping through and just riding these guys down, just doing massive damage. And I think the Norskins are going to buckle there, but beautiful play by both players. That was an amazing game. Well played. Well played to those guys. Flying Taco almost came back there despite losing his caster very early. The Mammoth play was awesome. Wulfric tried to get back in the game, but he just took too much damage early, and that was going to be it. So beautiful play by both players. That was great. So let's go ahead and get back in the lobby here. GG. Amazing. All right. They're going to set up game 3 now while I update the scoreboard, and it looks like we got a series on our hands. 1-1. God, there's nothing like even matches where like it's just a nice little synergy here. It is definitely going quite well. Yeah, that was a great one, guys. That was a great one for sure. So let me get the screen blocker up. Cheap Coffee says, cheap coffee. I love cheap, dude. I love gas station coffee. Keep up the amazing work, Turin. You always make my day with your sweet content and great commentary. Here's a small tip from a cheap boy and a huge fan. Thank you, man. The Ever-Chosen. God damn, I can't believe it. He's coming in, and looks like we're going to have Averlorn. So could see some Dryads, another play like that. Are you going to... yeah, I don't know what Artifact is. Yeah. Wulfric tried, but the might of the Ever-Chosen is... the blessings of the Chaos Gods were upon Archeon that day, it looks like. Yeah, I would love a Centaur Lord. Honestly, though, if Beastmen were to get new stuff, I would like to see, like, Doombulls and the Tarox, the Brass Bull. I think that'd be way more fun. Seraphon of Hexawaddle. $10. He says, great stuff. Thank you, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Yeah, we're here, man. We're going to be doing these streams. We'll probably have 2 a week. We'll do one of the weekend, and we'll probably have a midweek stream on, like, Wednesday, where we have the 3rd qualifier. So you guys should stay tuned for that. Yeah, where's Chef Ainsley today? Where is Chef Ainsley? I think I forgot to add him back in, because... if I leave Chef Ainsley, when I'm doing my local recordings, it still plays if people subscribe to my channel or donate. Like, so I took Chef Ainsley. I don't know where he is. My sincere apologies. He will be back for the next stream. I do not know. But thank you so much for the donation. My goodness. You guys are rocking it. Greenskins versus Elves. Yes. Yes. This is a good matchup. I love this one. Oh, this is such a fun matchup. Just the Savage Orcs beating down the Noble High Elves. All right, guys. So we're just hanging out. Oh, I probably need to get some more water. Chef Ainsley wants his royalty cut. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I wonder how Sarmatian's going to play this. I mean, he could go... the most competitive way to beat Greenskins with the High Elves is simply to use the what's her name? Alariel the Radiant, and use Arcane and Forging on their Lord so they can't cast Wa on you. Then you just go with a bunch of heavy cav, Silver Helms and Dragon Princes and things like that. It's usually pretty good because the Greenskins can't really play the heavy cav game very well. But the Greenskins have a ton of tools. They have Effigy, they have Foot of Gorks, they have nasty Skulkers, they have like superior infantry. So it's a tough matchup. I think it's a really good one for sure. Pro Deathblow, I don't really know who the best factions are yet. I think it's too early in the metagame to really determine that, but I will have an answer for you probably in a couple weeks. Yeah. I would love to see Beastmen get some changes. I think Beastmen are actually a really competitive faction. They don't like necessarily need anything new, but I think that some of the old world factions would be a lot more fun and engaging if they got some new content, for sure. Dropping by to say, hey, you're welcome, Necreon. Thank you. Oh my god, Lord of the Rings Total War would be such a chub. I'm going to grab some more water, guys. I'll be back in just a moment. All right, looks like we're here. I got the screen blocker off, and we're here with Game 3 between Sarmatian and the Flying Taco. The series is currently tied 1-1. Definitely going to be quite a cockfight, so very excited for this here. So, for the forces of Sarmatian, who's going to be playing the High Elves or Averlorn. Did I say Wood Elves? The banners look pretty similar, but anyways, it's Averlorn, which is a High Elf sub-faction. In the front line, he's going to have a couple groups of Spearmen. Not a bad choice. They have high melee defense. They can hold up the initial charge of the Greenskins, absorb that wall pressure, and then from there you follow up with your troops that are a little bit squishier. So the White Lions here do, of course, have decent armor values and martial prowess, but again, once that wears off, they only have 24 melee defense. So it's a little bit more prudent to have these guys take the secondary charge, or follow in as a secondary unit, right? Because then they're going to be able to have their prowess longer, they'll generate more value, and these guys are definitely the bread and butter of the High Elf Infantry in this particular game. So in the back here, we do have some Treekin also. Averlorn, of course, has access to a couple Wood Elf units. You have the Treekin, the Dryads, as well as the Treemen. Oh man, seeing Treemen would have been really funny. On top of that, 4 groups of Silver Helms. Silver Helms are not bad against Greenskins. You don't really need like elite cav to beat Greenskins. You know, Greenskin cav like Boar Boys have such pitiful stats that Silver Helms can actually trade pretty well with all those guys. So 4 Silver Helms in total. Ilariel the Radiant, and it looks like on the far side he does also have 1 group of Reaver Archers who are going to be doing some skirmishing, harassing, and scouting and that kind of stuff. For the forces of Flying Taco and the Greenskins, a whole front line of Night Goblins. He does also have the, what are these? The Night Goblin Regiment for now. I don't know why it doesn't say their tooltip here, like which one they are. But these are the unbreakable ones, so definitely going to be pretty good. Orc Biggins on the flanks to help deal with the Silver Helms, who actually did get a buff. I believe they actually got a buff to their bonus versus large. I think it's actually 8 now instead of, it used to be like 5. Yeah, so they got a buff to their bonus versus large, quite a bit better. Black Orcs here to deal with the White Lions. It's going to be good. It looks like we're going to have Azag on foot with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Fate of Buna on Silver Helms is good. Spirit Leech on, you know, is also a very competitive spell. So I like seeing the Footlords here from Flying Taco. It's actually his second one he's brought today. In the back, he does have a Goblin Rock Lobber with some Skulkers protecting it and some Orc Biggins back there. He has 2 Goblin Rock Lobbers. This is going to be a great match for sure. So very, very excited for this. So, go time. Yep, go time. Start it up. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think that the Greenskins might have a slight advantage in this matchup. But I think the High Elves can do it. It's going to be pretty micro-intensive. And Flying Taco has proven to be quite the formidable opponent today. So the forces of Sarmatian here going to be advancing forward. Obviously, the burden is on them because of the Goblin Rock Lobbers, who are going to be dropping some fat boulders here on some of the High Elves. And you can see here they're going to be targeting the white lines. And they do take out 5 white lines with that initial volley. It looks like the Reaver Archers in the back are going to be discovered by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, who are on the hunt. Sarmatian better react pretty quick. Yeah, they could get caught and poisoned and dragged down by those guys, but they should be able to get away here. So the 2 groups of Silverhelms are coming on the flank. Arkin on Forging, unfortunately, is going to be coming on Azag. He might as well pop the wall right now. Just pop it. Just pop it. Pop it and charge. Yeah, that's what he needs to do, because the Arkin and Forging is going to be so brutal. But if Azag pops the wall right now, he's still going to get it, and it's going to be pertinent for most of the melee engagement. Pop it. Oh, and he pops it at the last second. Beautiful play there from Flying Taco. So now his whole army has the wall, but he needs to charge with his goblins in the front. Silverhelm's coming in with a bit of a charge. They discover them because they have stock at the last second. So they charge into the stocked goblins, do some pretty good damage there. But Biggins are following up. Reaver Archers on the high ground for Sarmatian have been caught by the Forest Goblin Spider Riders, so very, very good stuff there. But the Silverhelms have gotten some good value, but if they stay there, these Biggins are going to give them the business. And the Wah is still active for, you know, another couple seconds, so at least he got some value from it. Arkin and Forging has gone down, and he needs to protect Azag. Azag is being hunted by the Pigeon Lady, but look at this. Silverhelms charge into the artillery, not seeing the nasty Skulkers. And it looks like a smoke bomb going down, and these Silverhelms are going to be dragged into the mud by these Skulkers and these Biggins, so beautiful play there. But Dr. Doom and Darkness is having some problems. He's wavering. He's at -18, -10. And Alariel is actually able to break Azag, which is crazy. Azag definitely should have been hiding among some of these troops here, and he's probably going to get chased off the battlefield. There is still some distance for him to rally, but so far the Greenskins are doing very well. Right, aside from the Lord situation. They've killed these Silverhelms here in the back. They've stabilized a little bit. Black Orcs in the front line are doing work, but I don't know, Sarmatian, you know, getting that Lord that early against the Greenskins is going to be good, but it looks like he has to fall back. Dr. Doom and Darkness, Azag might be able to rally here. Oh man, 31 leadership. If the Biggins are able to kind of protect him from the Pigeon Lady, that could be huge. Granted, one more Arcane and Forging will definitely kill him. So very, very close battle so far. Silverhelm's being dragged down. Looks like the Biggins and the Skulkers are fighting another wave of the Greenskin troops here. Goblin Rock Lobbers are still, for the most part, online. And the front line, of course, is going to be decent for the Black Orcs as they do kind of cleave through these guys. And the Silverhelms are looking pretty beat up. The Greenskins are actually in a really, really good position here. And it looks like Azag does come back, but he needs to protect him. Arcane and Forging going down, doing really big damage. And it looks like he's going to be, his rune is going to be smote upon the mountain by the Pigeon Lady as she descends from the sunset and takes him down. And it looks like he's going to be at 1 HP and dead. So Alariel, the Ever Queen, able to take him out, but it's still looking pretty grim for the High Elves. The Greenskins are cleaning up a lot of the troops here, but backline compromised. White lines have gotten into this Goblin Rock Lobber. Definitely a very close battle here. The Star of Avalorn going down, which is going to heal up the Treekin. And the White Lines, I really like the kind of a X-Factor tree skins, the Treekin pick right here to give them a little bit more of an anchor. The Black Orcs, of course, cleaning up shop against those guys. Silverhelms are all very beat up, though. I don't know, the Greenskins might be able to pull this one out. In the back, these Silverhelms are being dragged down by the Orc Biggins, who, man, these guys are so beastly looking. Look at them. And they got a buff to their bonus first large, so they're definitely quite a bit stronger now. Now, these Goblins, probably not going to win against the White Lines, or are these actually Orc Biggins? Yeah, they are. So, I don't know. Hard to say, guys. Black Orcs here are definitely going to win this engagement. We do have the Unbreakable Night Goblins holding back an entire tide here. Some of the Orc Biggins are just rallying, trying to get back to this pocket. And there's another group of Orc Biggins. This is still very much a game, guys. It's most certainly not over. Now, Azag, it would have been okay. He should have been kept like near his nasty Skulkers or some supporting units. But look at this. The Silverhelms again charging into the smoke bomb of Flying Taco. He's able to get that smoke bomb off and drag down these Silverhelms in the back, keeping that Goblin Rock Lobber operational and shooting into these forces. And the Black Orcs are just holding to the bitter end, just cleaving apart these guys. And the Biggins have surrounded. They're easily going to be able to win this engagement. And this is a close fight, guys. I mean, the High Elves are running out of troops, and there's so many Greenskins in reserve here. Both Rock Lobbers are still online, so he's going to be able to poke down the High Elves, you know, that are skirmishing and are in the back line. This is crazy. This is a crazy one. I don't know. I feel like the Greenskins might be able to stabilize this. I still think the High Elves are probably going to end up winning it in the long run because Alariel is here and she can do some good cycle charging. But the Black Orcs and the Biggins are pretty much a counter to like all of the cav units that he has left, right? And the White Lines and the High Elf Infantry are being cut apart by the savage Greenskin hordes. You can see the Biggins coming in here, and Biggins are like really decent against infantry. They just have mean stats in general, right? So they're going to be able to cut up these Treekin pretty easily with their bonus first large. Ooh, and the Goblin Rock Lobber killing its own troops, but again, that's very Greenskin. A really beautiful rear charge from Sarmatian right here is able to collapse these this Greenskin pocket of infantry. I don't know if he's going to be able to stabilize. The balance of power is like dead even right now, guys. It is dead even. There is no wall left, unfortunately. Azag was taken out pretty quickly there by the Ever Pigeon. But yeah, it was a bold strategy, Cotton, for sure. And here you can see that Alariel, oh, this is not good. Alariel actually a little bit surrounded by the Morgul's Mangy Marauders. They should attack her right now and pin her down for the Biggins. And you can see here that Sarmation does actually get the Pigeon surrounded a little bit. The Orc Biggins are charging in with a full chub. They might be able to do some damage, but it looks like she's just barely going to get away. Oh, but a Smoke Bomb. If he gets a Smoke Bomb here, that would be so powerful. If he pops it, it might be on cooldown. The Skulkers might have it. That Smoke Bomb would be game-changing, but it must be on cooldown here. Yeah, it looks like, unfortunately, it is on cooldown, and the Pigeon is going to get away. Rock Lobbers on the back are pretty much compromised. Flying Taco has dropped his artillery pieces, and he's going to be running from these High Elves, which is a really good choice for the late game here. The same thing on the other side, but the Silver Helms are able to chase them down. The Greenskins have a ton of stuff left, guys. And these Morgul's Mangy Marauders providing some decent missile pressure against the Pigeon Queen, as she does swoop back in here. But Elves really don't have a whole lot left, aside from these Treekin. And the Greenskins, if you look, have a lot of, like, somewhat healthy groups. 74 here, 82 right here. They have another 61. Morgul's Mangy Marauders are still in, decent shape. This could be anyone's game. What a beautiful final series we're having here between Sarmation and the Flying Taco. So, the Treekin here are going to be getting the Star of Averlorn, which is going to help them stabilize, but they're still starting to take some serious HP losses. It's only a matter of time before their actual models start to go down. But here we do have the Black Orcs are going to be going in as well. They have really good AP, should be able to get through the 80 there. And the Pigeon going in, that is a bold strategy, Cotton. Oh, Forest Goblin Spider Riders, they definitely need to attack Alariel. If they can get on Alariel and poison her, poison the Treekin, you can see here the stats are going to be mitigated, and this could be a good situation for the Greenskins. They definitely want to stay and fight this. Morgul's Mangy Marauders in the back providing Overwatch fire on the Silver Helms, who have 3 chevrons now. But the Biggins are still cutting them to pieces. Biggins are just absolute beasts. They have really high melee attack, really good weapon strength, pretty good charge bonus for their size too. So, this is anyone's game, guys. I really don't have any predictions here. I think it's pretty darn even, maybe a slight advantage for the High Elves simply because Alariel is alive, but the Treekin are going to get swamped right now. But the fact that the Treekin are anchoring this allows the Pigeon Lady to swoop in and get a lot of kills and break off some of the lower leadership units. Let's see. The High Elves have some Spearmen. They have the White Lions here, or the Silver Helms. Oh, nice pick. The Goblin Rocklobber crew was trying to get back here, but the Silver Helms are like, not in my house. And yeah, the boys are piling in, and a Smoke Bomb can be really good here. The Treekin are actually about to break too. The Treekin are going to be going down. It's going to be the Pigeon Lady versus all of these Greenskin troops. And I think there's some really healthy Biggins over here, and these dudes are pissed. These boys are angry for sure. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. Cycle charging can be pretty brutal, and there are some Silver Helms left. He's able to shatter off that Goblin Rocklobber crew. The Pigeon Lady's going to be pulling back, but the Green Tide is pouring through. The Green Tide is relentless, guys. They're not giving up. They're able to just chase down those Treekin. He even uses a Smoke Bomb, which he probably should have saved for Alariel, but he's trying to make sure that he can kill these Treekin and do as much damage as he can. But the Pigeon Lady's going to be diving on the wings of the formation, trying to get some picks here. And yeah, man, Silverhelm's coming back in. The last of the High Elf Spearmen are rallying here. Look at these guys coming back here. Oh my gosh. Yeah. They're going to be charging in. Maybe that is not a desirable charge, though. Just imagine this screaming horde of Greenskin infantry. Alariel's probably going to be waiting for some of her troops to get nearby. She might have another heal of some sort. Maybe she has another Earthblood. But the Green Tide is just finishing off those Treekin. They're just like, we're not letting you guys get away. They're just, these trees are being chopped down straight up Isengard style right now. Definitely not fun for them. So it's going to come down to the Pigeon Lady. Our rules do stipulate that if the Pigeon Lady is the last single model entity, so if the Greenskins are able to break the rest of the High Elf forces, then that's going to be, she'll have to stay and fight. She won't be able to cycle charge. So that is the rules of our tournament. Hopefully they read the rules, so I don't have to call them on that afterwards. But nonetheless, the Greenskins are advancing here. There's no terror left, yeah. Oh man, here they come. So the Silverhelms do charge in against the Mangy Marauders. The nasty Skulkers are charging in. The Biggins are charging in. This is going to be the final apocalyptic fight, it looks like, as the Pigeon Queen does charge in. Now, a Smoke Bomb here would just be so good, but I think he did use it to kill the Treekin, which wasn't necessarily a bad investment, but Silverhelms are not happy. The Spearmen are not happy. Those guys are all broken off. Yeah. The Green Tide might be able to pull this one out. What a game. What a game. This is insane. The Skulkers are cleaning up the Silverhelms, who are at -14, -3. They're broken. The Skulker is able to win that. You know, Alariel is being dragged down by tides of Greenskin, and now I don't think she has any other troops in the battlefield, so she does have to stay and fight, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, here you can see that the Alariel the Radiant is just fully surrounded. And it looks like she's going to pull back a little bit. No, she's just kind of charging about on her Pigeon, just trotting about and just having some fun. Some of the Black Orcs are breaking, though. This is still a close game. Oh my god. I think it's over, though. I think it's over. GG. Wow. Wow, yeah. So the rules of the tournament stipulate that he does have to stay and fight. This is crazy. This is crazy, guys. Look at Alariel picking up orcs and tossing them. So that's actually not like a... Oh, but it kind of does give her a little bit of a charge as she does re-enter here. But yeah, the balance of power is going in the favor of the green tide. Oh, a smoke bomb going down. The pigeon lady ain't going nowhere. It's like, hey, freak show. I got you for 3 minutes. You ain't going nowhere. That's what the Greenskins are saying to Alariel here. As she does waver and break. Is she going to waver and break off here? Looks like her attack animation's helping, but she is so squishy against biggins. Oh my god. And look at the bounce power like creep back up a little bit. No way. I would actually be a little bit sad if she won this. Like, I feel like the Greenskins deserve it for having Azak be killed earlier. Oh my god. What a battle. So here we have in the finals, this is going to be game 3. I need to remind these guys that it's best of 5. Remember, it's... Oh, I'll tell them in just a second. In the Greenskins, with the comeback, they were down so bad, losing their lord almost immediately. Bonesaw is ready. And the green tide coming in, flying taco with the upset there. I really thought he was screwed because Azak just went down so quick. Remember, I have to remind them it's best of 5 so they don't leave like last week. All right, flying taco is up 2 games here. Wow, that was amazing. That was a really good game. Should have shut down those rock lobbers earlier. All right, guys. So if the flying taco is able to take this one, he's going to be claim one of the pieces of 8 for our grand finals. The green tide. The green tide, man. Doing work for sure. So flying taco is going to play Vampire Coast. Hell yeah. We get to see the coast. That was so good and tasty. And here we are, 1,500 people, pretty close to a record, if not, yeah, that's pretty close for a non-early access stream. So guys, we have 1,457 people here. If you guys could, please make sure to click the like button. It does help the stream out quite a bit. Helps me with my traffic and getting the channel out to new people. So please do hit that like button in this downtime we have here. And also, I got to get the army blocker up. Yes, yes. Flying Dutchman, take care. I know it's a little bit late for some of you guys. The coast with the most. And we got Tomb Kings versus the coast. This is a fun matchup for sure. We accidentally, Sarmation just put on the large armies so they could bring like massive stacks. There we go. And he fixed it. Tomb Kings versus the Vampire Coast. Now I actually have a pretty mean build against the Tomb Kings with the Coast. It's essentially you go with a double Colossus. You get an Octolus plus a second Colossus, and then you get like 2 or 3 Carronades, and then a bunch of Scurvy Dogs and just chaff in the front. It's really hard for Tomb Kings to beat that. I know Randy Savage was in Spider-Man in 2002. He was Bonesaw. It's pretty nuts. I think this matchup's really good for the Vampire Coast, but Tomb Kings also have a ton of answers as well, right? They have Ushopti Great Bows, they have Carrion, which are really good at disrupting cannons and Necrofex, but I really think the double Colossus and the double Cannon is the way to go, and then just, I don't know, it's hard to say though, because Tomb Kings can go super wide and bring Skeleton Archers, which then becomes a bit of an issue, so it's a really good matchup. I love this matchup. I think it's really fun, it's thematic, it's great. Yeah. I personally feel very confident playing my Vampire Coast against Tomb Kings. Granted, I guess most people probably say that Tomb Kings do really well. The Boner, you know, I haven't seen a Boner Giant fight the Colossus yet. I would love to see a Necrofex Colossus and a Bone Giant like squaring off. I think that'd be really fun. The cream rises to the top. Yeah, well, I hope this. I actually hope this is a Tomb King win, so we can go to Game 5. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the thing. Indie Pride Milk and Cookies has a great point that if you do try and go with the the boner giant, you're gonna get taken out by the carronades and stuff. And double Colossus plus double cannon, and then going super wide with deckhand mobs, spamming summons, and defending your big pieces. It's really hard for the Tomb Kings to deal with that, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see. I can actually see Sarmation's army right now. It definitely looks pretty good. Like, it has tools. But some unusual picks as well. Scorpions aren't bad. Yeah, Scorpions can do a decent job. Tomb Kings are a very powerful faction. Carrion are really good. They can shut down Jackdroppers and Fellbats. So if you bring like 4 or 5 Carrion, you're going to pretty much have control over this guys. Unless they go Terrorgeist, like Luther Harkin and stuff, like then, you know, the Vampire Coast will certainly win the air fight. But Luther would be fun. Luther's good here. Solastra's, I mean, all of the, I would say Aranessa is probably the weakest pick in this matchup, but all of the other lords can be made to work. That's why I love Vampire Coast. Like, all their lords are so solid. Noctilus is great here. You have Luther on his Terrorgeist. He can kill the constructs, go after enemy lords. You have Solastra, who can summon crabs and knights to kind of harass the back line, go after skeleton archers. There's a ton of competitive stuff here for sure. So, yeah. We will see. It is showtime. Hopefully you guys are ready. This could potentially be the last match of the day between Sarmation and Flying Taco. Flying Taco currently leads the series 2-1. And it is go time. Yeah, make sure to hit the like button if you guys don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, so screen blocker. I was like staring at it for a second. I'm starting to get like, need something more to eat. I just had a banana and like some tomato soup, so I might have to. I might need to go like eat a taquito real quick. I have like a box of taquitos in the kitchen. I love it. So good. All right, so here we are with the potential final match. If Flying Taco is able to win this, he will win the series 3-1. If Sarmation ties it up here, we're going to be going to game 5. So for the forces of Sarmation, the whole front line looks like it's going to be Tomb Guard with Halberds mixed in with Skeleton Warriors, King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion, and the Kepra Guard. So a lot of anti-large, maybe expecting Prometheans and Crabs, and if there are Crabs, this army is going to be very good against him. For Carrion up in the sky is going to be making sure there's no deck droppers, and if there are no deck droppers, you can use Carrion to rear charge the mobs and just deal with hounds and just, you know, basically just kind of as a utility unit to break leadership of those undead units. You have the Eyes of the Desert, something you don't see terribly often. These are the Sepulchral Stalkers. And yeah, anti-large armor piercing, really good against Crabs. They also have AP missiles, so Sarmation's got some like mind games going on, some meta creation, monstrosity of some sort. Arc in the Black here, he's going to be on his Chariot with Spirit Leech, Soul Blight, and Doom and Darkness. So Doom and Darkness does leadership, so he could potentially break the leadership of units. But I do like the Stalker pick from Sarmation. I feel like it's going to be really cool to see those guys in action. So Arc in the Black, of course, can summon skeletons as well, but he didn't bring the skeleton summon, which is very interesting on Arc in the Black. I feel like that would have been very useful here, but he did not bring that. So we'll see how that goes for him. And for the forces of Flying Taco, front line of zombie deckhand mobs, pretty standard stuff with the Tides of Skuld here in the middle. He does have Count Noctilus not on the Colossus, so Count Noctilus is going to be a summoner on foot, and he does have the Pit of Shades, Invocation of Nehek, and the Drowned Dead, which is quite solid. On top of that, in the back, we got the Rotting Prometheans. We got 2 groups of the Depth Guard, which are basically the masters of mulching through Tomb King infantry. Like, these guys annihilate Tomb King infantry. They butter the bread so bad. And he has 2 Sirens, so a rush build coming in from the Vampire Coast with no powder. He's going to be going in aggressive, just getting crazy, and I'm really excited to actually see how this goes because he has like no missile units in his army. He's just going balls deep, aggressive Vampire Coast. In the back, 2 groups of Scurvy Dogs as well, looking to go after Skeleton Archers, Ushabti Great Bows, things like that, but neither of them really have any missiles. It's just going to be a straight-up fisticuffs fight, so start. Yeah. Is it okay if we play again? Yeah, it's fine. They forgot to switch the map, but it doesn't really matter. Like, this is a really good map anyways. So, here we go. Here we go, boys. The Vampire Coast facing off against the Tomb Kings. Oh, yeah. Gonna be fun. We're going to see, yeah, Depth Guard will definitely beat Tomb Guard, but again, Depth Guard are a lot more expensive, so there is some give and take there, right? Like, you can get a lot more for with the Depth Guard if you or Tomb Guard. So Arc in the Black's going to be coming in on his Pimp Chariot. The Vampire Coast is going to be led by Count Noctilus in the front, leading the charge. He does have anti-large and armor piercing, so he's going to bring something to the table against Arc in the Black here. It's going to be tougher to kill, but Spirit Leech going down honestly isn't a big deal. He can simply just use invocations to heal himself up. He also does have the Hunger, as he is a vampiric unit, so, I mean, really, Spirit Leech isn't going to be that devastating against him. It's still good, though. It does get you closer to that endgame kind of objective there. The Carrion are swooping above. They do discover the Scurvy Dogs hiding, and the frontline engagement is underway, so the Tides of Skuld will definitely smash these Skeleton Warriors. The Crabs are going to be coming in as well, the Rotting Prometheans. And the Depth Guard and the Sirens are also pouring in, so a very, very massive melee engagement going on. And it looks like these Carrion looking for opportunities to strike here in the back. Count Nautilus, of course, going to be summoning some deckhand mobs to intercept these halberds. Libra Mortis goes down, and Ark in the Black coming in with his evil, cackling Necromancer Chariot. He needs to be getting on the Depth Guard fast, so like those things need to be dealt with because Depth Guard just mulch Tomb King infantry so incredibly hard. So I definitely think that just looking at the builds, I feel like, I don't know, it's really hard. The Sepulchral Stalkers can potentially deal with the crabs. He really needs to just make sure to optimize his play with these guys. And he does have a ton of halberds as well, which is going to be good. So another summon with the Captain Rothsamundal going down back here. And Ark in the Black is going to be charging in, but he does kind of get roadblocks by the Prometheans. Wraithstorm coming down from Count Nautilus as well, hitting Ark in the Black. And the Depth Guard in the front line are going to start cleaning up these Skeleton Warriors really, really quick. Spirit Leech going down on the Sirens, which isn't a bad choice at all. And it looks like the Scurvy Dogs are just kind of patrolling the back. Maybe they're going to be engaging in the front line. I would like to see the Scurvy Dogs come up and around and start hitting the back of the formation of the Tomb Kings. But anyways, Carrion swooping into the back of these troops here, breaking the leadership, and Soulblight going down as well, making them just like so squishy. So they're going to be taking some substantial damage. Ark in the Black needs to get on Depth Guard, though. He needs to take those guys out because they are just so good against Tomb King's infantry. So Sepulchral Stalkers, in the meantime, sitting and taking pot shots here at the Rotting Prometheans, actually doing a really good job. And looks like they're going to charge into melee now, maybe. They actually were really cutting up those crabs, but it looks like they're trying to rotate away from those halberds to make sure they don't get compromised. Ark in the Black in a bad situation against Count Nautilus, though. He takes a ton of damage from Nautilus, who does have anti-large and armor piercing. So not a good situation. And it looks like these Scurvy Dogs actually charging in to counteract the Carrion here, which is going to be pretty good. He's able to kill those Carrion very quickly. And it looks like Sarmation's in a little bit of trouble. Nehekar Horseman, he needs to be more aggressive with those guys and like start getting behind these guys and rear charging. Using them in frontal charges isn't going to be that great against the Tar Pits, in my opinion. So over here, the Tomb Guard with halberds are holding and cleaning up the deckhand mobs. It looks like Ark in the Black. I really do wish he had a skeleton summon too. I feel like not bringing that was a bit of a mistake, in my opinion. But the Scurvy Dogs still just kind of circling in the back, looking for Carrion and Horsemen and other things they could potentially clean up. The Eyes of the Desert looks like they're trying to find a home, and it looks like they're going to push through and maybe get on these Rotting Prometheans. But yeah, the Vampire Coast is able to win this frontline engagement pretty handily with the Tide of Skjold, and the Tomb Guard with halberds are holding on, but Nautilus is summoning. Oh, and a summoned group of zombie pirate gunnery mobs here in the back. These guys are going to be shooting and doing a lot of damage into the backs of these halberds. And if you shoot something in the back, the shields obviously aren't going to be helpful. Wraithstorm going down and Ark in the Black as well, which does a little bit of damage, nothing to write home about. But the Nehekar Horsemen are fighting, and it's a close battle. I think that the Vampire Coast and Flying Taco have a slight advantage here, but there still is a ton of Tomb King troops. The Kepler Guard, Eyes of the Desert, you don't want to be losing these guys right now. They are fighting Depth Guard. They're fighting like 3 groups. There's Chaff here. And yeah, this is a rough loss here. I mean, if he loses these, he's going to lose most of his options against the heavy troops. Count Nautilus coming in with his Pimp Gain here. He's able to do some really good work against Ark in the Black. And Ark in the Black's pretty low. He is pretty low. He's taking a bit of a beating here for sure. So yeah, Arkin's going to need to fall back. He doesn't have any skeleton summons. The Sirens are probably going to be able to clean up these Tomb Guard with halberds, lowering their melee attack actually down to 16, which makes him pretty much chaff level. Nehekar Horsemen are fighting against the Rotting Prometheans and some of these angry crabs. And yeah, I don't know. It looks like the Vampire Coast is going to be able to take this one. Like, their Depth Guard are just performing. 62 kills here. It looks like the other Depth Guard, which I'm not sure where they are right now, but Spirit Leech going down, but Arkin needs to run. Like, this is a terrible situation to be in. There are quite a few Tomb King's troops left, but Sirens are healthy. The Crabs are still fighting. The Eyes of the Desert, which are the Sepulchral Stalkers, are pretty much offline. So it looks like Sarmation is going to be falling here to the Flying Taco. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case. The Ark in the Black is going to be running, but there's a ton of Scurvy Dogs waiting. Oh, the Scurvy Dogs are just waiting like carrion to feast on him when he tries to retreat. So he's forced back in. Tomb Kings are just buckling on all fronts. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't have any, like, Ushapia Grapos would have killed the Prometheans pretty quick, but it is scary to bring them because of the Colossus and the cannon, so there's a lot of mind games in this matchup for sure. Scurvy Dogs just kind of swooping about, probably going to rear charge the Kepler Guard, who are actually being minced up by these Depth Guard pretty efficiently. You can see they're going down, yeah, 2 Depth Guard here, so 79 kills on these ones and 80 here, and that's going to be all she wrote. GG. And that's it. Flying Taco is going to be claiming one of our pieces of 8. The Tomb Kings got boned for sure, yeah. Well played to both players. I mean, that was a good match. It was a good match. For all of those matches between those two were really good. Flying Taco coming in. He did have Fate of Una, actually, I think. He just didn't have the skeleton summon. Your counter was superior. Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, Cetra would have won that, right? That's what we like to believe here. So Flying Taco is going to be claiming one of our pieces of 8. And moving on to the grand finals, which are going to be quite a bit of fun. Oh, do I have like, oh, I just noticed I have like random pieces of my hair sticking out. That's what you guys are talking about in chat. Yeah, so beautiful matchup. The Tomb Kings, you know, I thought they might have the answers with the Tomb Guards being able to counter the crabs, but the Depth Guard just dumpstered those Tomb Guards with halberds. The Sirens actually did really well. He didn't have enough stopping power to kill these elite infantry, right? The Eyes of the Desert also severely underperformed. They maybe brought one group of the Prometheans down to half health, and then they just died to chaff, which was a little bit tough. So, yeah, I mean, I really like Sarmation's, like, you know, the idea of the build. He had the counters for the deck droppers, but there were no deck droppers. Flying Taco just kind of went outside of the box, had a very aggressive, you know, just rush build, and it just kind of caught him off guard. So, beautiful play to both players. GG. 3-1. It's over for now. Congrats, both. Great games. So guys, big congratulations to the Flying Taco. He was able to win his first match against Shetland Apache, and then he comes in here in the finals and had a really good series of games for Sarmation. Close games. GG to you. Especially with the Weight Watchers. Yeah. Yeah, those were crazy games for sure. I know, I'm really hungry. I think it's because his name is Flying Tacos. Cheers. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know, Kotep on his Roomba. Maybe that could have done it that game. Who knows? Or a Necrosphinx. Oh, a Necrosphinx would have won that game for sure. 100%. So again, my apologies for some of the technical difficulties we had in the beginning, but we were able to stabilize, have a really good finals between Sarmation and Flying Taco. And Flying Taco is going to be the champion for today, and he will be earning one of the pieces of 8. So if we look here, he's going to be moving on to the grand finals, which are going to be an 8-player ever-chosen style tournament with raffles and giveaways and all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's going to be really, really fun. So I'm really excited for this. And he will be getting added to the pieces of 8 here, the Flying Taco. Him and Rightist are the first 2 of the champs. Big thanks to Misha for dropping the Discord link in chat. If you guys are interested in learning about these leagues and playing, that is the best place to do it. And also, let's go ahead and talk about some of the donations we had today. So big thanks to Seraphon of Hexawaddle, Cheap Coffee, Riverbank, James Fitton, Salty Saxon, Fly on Bread, Faust with multiple, Riverbank again, Cody Bear, Faust, Colin, Ninja Hun coming in with the $5 donation, Jason Denny, Dov Plays, Dov paying it up. We got to get Dov in one of these for sure. And Parzival, 516. Thank you guys so much for your generous donations and your support of the stream and the multiplayer community. And yeah, it's going to be good. Sarmation, you did great, man. Hang your head up high. You were a champ today. You had some amazing games. You put on a great show. So really big thanks to you for joining. You were awesome, man. And again, congratulations to the Flying Taco, who's going to be moving on to the grand finals of season 1 of the ECL, the Eternal Challenger League. And yeah, that's it. Make sure to also follow me over on Twitter for updates. And we're also going to be doing some giveaways on Twitter. So make sure you guys follow me on there. Misha is dropping some links to that and all the good stuff. Yeah, Cetra was watching from the distance, just like wishing he was picked for sure. Yeah. But guys, thank you so much for joining. That's going to be it for today. This is your boy Turin signing out for now. And we're probably going to have another one on Wednesday, and then there will be one on Sunday. So maybe like Wednesdays and Sundays. It's going to change depending on my schedule and everything, but we're going to be trying to do twice a week. But if you follow me on Twitter, I will be announcing the schedule for these, and when I'll try and do it like a day in advance at least so you guys can plan. So guys, thanks again so much. Maybe we'll do a Magic stream tonight. Maybe. I might do a Magic stream tonight. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's either going to be painting 40K or a Magic stream. But really appreciate all your support. You guys are awesome. This is the best community ever. And we will see you guys in the next couple days. Cheers and thanks for watching.